I used to rule the world, seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone, sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes, listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king's dead, long live the king. One minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you've gone, it was never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. It was the wicked and wild wind, blew down the doors to let me in, shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I've become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world. Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name, never an honest word, but that was when I ruled the world.
Hello and good evening. It's just a little reminder of hang on. Yeah. Just a little reminder for those that, like to say things about our tiny little island and how bad and nasty it is. We're not so tiny even now. Tonight I'm going to be talking about Kriss Donald. I think I find it a bit upsetting, and I know other people may find it upsetting, but the story's got to be told because no one seems to care. doesn't seem to be important enough to be spoken about or remembered because, yeah, you've guessed it. Kriss was white. Hi, Jupiter, love.
Hiya. Did you watch the second part, Wendy?
Of what, love?
You didn't watch Sarah Garvey in the second part tonight?
Ooh, no, has it been on?
Yeah. Oh, we need to go through it. It's the ending was just ridiculous. Massive home goal to Tommy, by Sarah.
Okay, let me first. Somebody called B wants to come on here. Who is B?
God knows.
Yeah.
Hello, Wendy.
Who's that?
It's Brian.
Oh, okay, Brian. Well, just shush you. So let's go through it then. Yeah.
I'd like to, if that's possible with you, because I've been away for 5 weeks, and I've just watched your video last night, and I'd just like to go through a few points, if it's okay with you, if you've got the time.
Well, first I want to go through this video that Jupiter's just mentioned. Is it on? Is it on Garvey's channel, Jupes?
Sarah Garvey, yeah.
Has he put a copyright on it?
I don't think so, actually.
No, he ain't copyrighted it, Jupiter or Wendy.
No, I didn't know. I saw a second part, but I thought it was bloody. No. Yeah, I thought it was. Hang on. All right, 50 minutes ago. Okay, so well, I'm a bit annoyed with myself over that.
Don't be.
What did you think of it, Jupiter?
I think the audience participation was good. There were some things brought up from the audience that pointed out basically how the white community and the British community as a whole is feeling about all this Black Lives Matter and the slogan that was used. So I thought that was really good. I think Sarah avoided a couple of questions, didn't really answer them properly. But for me, the cruncher come at the end. You've got to see it at the end. And they speak about Barbie. And I'll tell you what I think after we've watched it, because I can't believe that Sarah gave Tommy a complete home goal for the Sibnats.
Okay, then. So let's get on with it.
Who, hands up?
Can you hear it?
Who wants to ask the first question?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll go for you.
That's as high as it's going to go.
A question for both of you, really, but separate questions. Firstly, for Tommy, I followed you for a long time, and I absolutely accept you're not racist.
What?
And I can accept the fine distinction you use about your rant.
Waffles on for ages.
Who? Well, he's this guy, isn't he part of Hearts of Oak?
Yep.
What, does he waffle on?
Yeah, he goes all round the houses.
So when I saw your rant, I thought, this is bad, Tommy. This is really bad. And indeed, I tried to message you and told you. I know you said it was wrong and so on, but a sort of rather more fulsome apology for it would go down quite well. It has done you a lot of damage.
No, I'm aware.
That, and I think you know that, not just in the black community, but in the white community as well. Yeah. Amongst a lot of my friends, they're all pointing at this bloke's your friend, is he? So I think that. I think to Sarah, or perhaps to both of you actually, I'd like to ask the question, a couple of things. I was quite intrigued that Sarah didn't seem fully aware that somebody climbed up on the cenotaph and burnt the Union Jack. There'll be hundreds of thousands of families up and down this country to whom the cenotaph is really, really important because they've lost fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers in wars. and that is the representation of that. That's a sacred place in our nation.
Exactly.
And on it was our flag. And up it climbed a black woman and tried to burn the flag. And the thing that would annoy many British people, this Holy of Holies there, which is really important, is the police appeared to do nothing about it. But however, the police, when some lout who was drunk went and weed alongside P.C. Fletcher's memorial stone outside Parliament, he was arrested by the authorities, dragged through the courts, and went to jail. Now, I think what is missing here, and this is where I'm going around to my question, none of you have talked here, you've talked about the black community and the white community. I think there's a huge area of the white community who also feel disempowered, who feel outside the powerful circles. And by the powerful circles, I mean the politician, the BBC, Whitehall, and so on. And the powerful circles, predominantly white, have taken on board Black Lives Matter and have taken it on board so that actually the white people are not allowed to say, I'm sure you wouldn't agree with this, but if you say the words white people, white lives matter as well, that is immediately seen as racist. You're accused of being racist by saying that. I've been accused of it. When I said at one stage, I want to say, well, white lives matter too, because of the power of the words Black Lives Matter. You are not allowed by the powerful people, by the BBC, the media and so on, to say white lives matter, because it is seen they have decided for various reasons that's a racist statement. Hence, some bloke gets up in an aircraft and flies over Burnley Football Club, or a football match, and says white lives matter. He is barred from the football club, he loses his job, his partner loses her job, and he's despised and discouraged by the media and the political class throughout, the predominantly white political class throughout. What I think is missing, and this is my question to you, is there is large areas of our society, predominantly white areas, traditional white areas, which also feel marginalised, which also feel discriminated against, which also feel that their lives don't matter, because the powerful people, the directors of the Premiership football and the BBC and the politicians and the civil servants the rest have decided that those white people, predominantly white working class, people don't matter at all. And I think this dimension of looking at the class system in the UK is really important to throw light on it, because you won't really understand, you won't understand as a black person why it's really important. There are a lot of white people out there saying, excuse me, I'm here, you've ignored me for so long, I may live outside the gilded circles of metropolitan London, okay? But I'm here, I live in Burnley, you've ignored me. You've left me unemployed, you've brought in massive immigration, so I lose my job, and so on and so forth. There's this huge area. My guess is Tommy would probably say he identifies that working class area. But I think, but there is that. Our country, and I'll sit down now, our country is 85% white, and a huge amount of that is a silent majority. I don't believe they're actually racist at all. They're normally quite fair-minded and they'll get along with most people, but they feel that the powerful people are ignoring them, are marginalising them, are actually hostile to them. They're known as the left behinds, okay? And I think there is a real dimension in here that actually would bring sides together against powerful people rather than separate them. That'd be my comment.
Tommy?
This is the point I've been making, in the sense that I believe there's a large proportion of the country that I speak to and relate to. I don't claim to speak to it for every single white person, but I'm saying a lot of them are getting angry because they don't feel like they do matter. That's genuine. They genuinely do not feel. If we talk about academic achievements, the larger proportion of black people now go to university than white people. The biggest academic failures in this country are white working class children. And there's a reason for that, because they haven't mattered. Whether our daughters haven't mattered, whether education hasn't mattered, everything has been geared, I'd say, and white people would feel, for minorities and for everyone else. And they've just been neglected, totally neglected. So, and I think that this angle, when you talk about white lives matter, I never stood by white lives matter. I think the slogan should always have been all lives matter. Any counter slogan should have been all lives matter. But you're right, the young lad who done the white lives matter above Burnley Football Club, by half time in that football stadium, the captain, was coming out telling that young kid from a council estate in Burnley about his white privilege. Captain who's a multi-millionaire.
Unbelievable.
Who can't really probably,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and again, I went to Burnley. I went to Burnley after that, and I spoke to people on the street. 100% of people agree with the kid. This is the White Lives Matter above the football stadium. There was 100% support for what he had done. And it's not from a racist angle, just people saying, well, we don't know.
I would like to know what white marginalization looks like.
Well, it looks like. It looks like your daughter's being systematically taken, raped, groomed, passed around and murdered without batting an eye by anybody.
Yeah.
Again,
with the support of politicians.
Tommy, that's got nothing to do with black
No,
people.
you asked me what white marginalization looks like.
What I'm trying to say is, when people say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that our lives matter more than anybody else's. That's not what is being said.
You're not saying that.
Wait a minute.
No, that's not what is being said in general. Then it's not being said that Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Jupiter?
Why is he trying to make it look like Islamics are not black?
Yeah, and why is he saying that it's nothing to do with them? Don't all children matter, or is it just certain children's that matter?
Exactly.
Brian, you got anything to say? Is he still here? Because I'm not on that page.
I can't see.
Oh, I've got a few in the back waiting. No, he's left. Obviously, he can't be bothered to wait, or he's back.
Okay.
Oh, Angel Moon's here, number 3. Hello, Angel Moon.
Good evening, ladies.
And there's Brian back. Right, let's get on with it. Yeah, that's a very strange comment he keeps making, isn't it? Nothing to do with us.
Yeah, that annoyed me when I heard him say that.
Yeah.
It's like as though it touches. It's like, what's it got to do with us? Do you know what I mean? Why aren't us? Why aren't us all everybody? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like Tommy includes everybody, but it's all British. But it's like, no, what's it got to do with black people? And like Jupiter says,
when it's a Somalian gang, it's got everything to do with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hello,
he shot himself in the foot with that one.
Am I back, Wendy? My battery went.
You're back. Yeah, you're back.
Sorry, my battery went. I had to charge it. Sorry.
Oh, all right then. Okay. Right.
I just got a couple of points I'd like to put to Wendy, because I've been away for 4 or 5 weeks, and I came online. Not came online, but I watched your stream yesterday, which a little bit upset me. If I'm honest, a little bit upset me.
Hang on, no. He'll have to wait after this. No, he'll have to wait after this. This is important.
What, Sarah Garvey?
And Tommy, yeah.
Yeah, but why is it so important?
It's just saying Black lives also matter, because we can see that by the actions that are being taken towards black people, it seems that their lives don't matter.
As I've told you, by the statistics and numbers, that's not backed up in any evidence. That's not backed up by the police statistics on deaths in custody. It's not backed up by police unarmed shootings. It's not backed up by racial attacks from one community to another. The figures and numbers simply do not support it.
Very true. Very true. You're telling the truth.
Okay, well, I don't know about living in a white majority. So I'm from Luton Town, and the whole time I've been in Luton Town, white English.
We're talking about the UK, so we're not your
but white English are a minority. So I've grown up as a white English minority in my town.
And how did that feel for you?
Fine.
Did you feel oppressed? Did you feel marginalised?
No. Felt like there was a two-tier policing system, but not with blacks, because I felt that the system was elevated for the Islamic community over the black and the white community.
Do you know what I heard from the gentleman there? For me, I heard that someone who has more of a problem with the elite, more so than anyone else. That's what I heard from him.
Yeah, I have a problem with the elite.
Well, ain't that who
So
they've got?
what happens is that you were saying that white people feel marginalized, right? And you're talking about, white working class children being, the ones that are failing at school. That's got nothing to do with that.
I'm not saying it is.
That's something you need to take up with the politicians.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying is, do you understand why there's a proportion of the country that are white that are sitting there thinking, but we don't matter? And generally, everything that's happened since
because most things are geared towards white people in this country.
You think?
No.
Growing up in Luton Town, I've never seen that.
Okay, so like I said, I talk about.
I bet the children in Rotherham, Rochdale, Oxford, every single town and city across this
I
country. I
talk
bet
about
not one of
social
them.
economics. Social economics, if you look at the ladder of social economics, you'll find black people at the bottom of the ladder.
30 black community, 40% of the black community go to university, 30% of the white community.
Okay, what's up?
It means more black people getting educated, more
Yeah.
people, more black. Again, in
But it's
my
a majority
research,
white country, though.
I know,
Oh,
but it
God.
doesn't matter. Proportionally, more black people going to university from the
So
background.
then we have to now look at the reasons for that. Then.
I believe the reasons for it are because I believe that the white working class, not again, I'm on about class here because
Who's marginalising them? Other
the
white
government.
people. Other white people.
Oh yeah, totally. The elite.
Okay, well then your problem's not with us.
I'm not saying that. No,
Oh,
I've never
listen
had a
to
problem
him.
at all with
An
anything to
arrogant
do with
little
the black community
shit.
or any
I
members of the
know.
black
Sounded
community.
like
Right.
All our problems with the elite, all of our,
Yeah.
no matter whether you're black, white, brown, yellow, whatever colour you are.
Yeah, but when it comes to this schooling issue, right? The reason why there's more black kids going to university is the white working class have been overlooked. There's been no programs within the education system geared at working just for them. So there's been black incentives, there's been Asian incentives, there's been European incentives, but there's not been any incentives for the white working class that speak English. And that's
And
why
remember
why
them people that were putting money up.
Huh?
So do you remember them people that were putting like bursaries for black kids, and then somebody wanted to do it for white kids, and that was racist?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on. I think black families and
Okay,
minorities.
so is he saying, is Garvey saying then that anything happens with white people, anything at all, is nothing to do with them? So we can therefore say the same about black people then? Is that now the way we can be?
Yeah, we should start saying, why should we care?
Because that's what he's doing. It's a proper divide.
Yeah.
That is where
and even for the people that have been raped and for 40 years. You know what I mean? And the police have done nothing.
Yeah. That rhetoric, which is the divisiveness that Tommy Robinson's talking about, divisive rhetoric.
Yeah.
Could you go on mute, please, and only speak if you've got something to say about the video, just for now, please. Right.
No. I'm just saying. Do you understand why members of the white community are sitting there feeling like we don't matter here?
Yeah. So talk to the people. Yeah. Who can change that?
I've been battling the establishment for 10 years. This all comes down to the same problem that I've spoke about for 10 years. The fact that we are marginalised, we don't matter. The fact that they give preference. This isn't me sitting here and any of the points I'm about.
Give preference to who?
Well, we'll get me back.
This is what we're here for.
We'll get me back onto my original issue. Why didn't they deal with the rape again? Just think of it. We're in Brixton, yeah. Brixton's a majority black population. Anyone who's here from Brixton,
it's getting gentrified quite easily now and quite quickly.
Is it?
It's getting gentrified quite quickly and quite easily, right?
Is it LGBT new town? Is it? So if we look at it, say like everyone in this community, pick 1,400 young black girls that are kidnapped, taken, some of them murdered, tortured. Whilst they're raping them, they're calling them the N-word. They're calling them the racial slurs for 30 years. Yeah. And whilst this is going on, the police and the authorities and everyone let it happen. They didn't do nothing about it. And then when it comes out why this happened, why this was allowed to happen, it was because they didn't want to cause racial tensions. Because when I'm talking about the anger that's within, that is exactly. So if you're looking at these issues, I know we're looking at George Floyd in one country, but many people are sitting thinking, but we've seen this in every town and city. We've seen racism that's resulted in murder and rape and torture in every single town and city in the UK. Again, nothing to do with the black community, because black children have been victims of these gangs. Yeah,
I know this.
Nothing to do. I'm just giving the comparison as to. There's a lot of white people out there that feel like they don't matter. Okay. And in fact, they don't feel like they don't matter. They've been proven they don't matter. And sort of that alienation or that I'd say that resentment is currently what would be fueling a bit of a backlash against the BLM organisation and everything being aimed about the black community.
All right. Next question.
Basically, about he said that you called in the video, the rant video, the football lads to come down. Now, I was in conversation with the protest that we was going to do to save the statues days before the rant come out.
So there was already a protest organised by Chelsea, Millwall, West Ham. Before I went on my rant, yeah? Those football hooligans were already coming to London. That was before I went on my rant.
That was before that. So we was already going to go there. So Tommy didn't incite people to go there.
Please name West Ham, the West Ham hooligans.
Who are we?
Please, I'm asking.
Yeah,
you.
when you say we was going to go there, just black people in general.
People.
Right, okay.
Black, white, whoever's
Right.
British.
Yeah.
Are you part of FLA?
I'm not, no, I've got no connection with
Okay.
I'm just myself.
Right, okay. No, I'm just trying to...
Right, so it wasn't because, the rant wasn't because of, the people weren't coming down because of the rant, basically. But do you think that when you put your video out afterwards about what happened, you're actually throwing fire on the rant afterwards, so more people will look at it and then say, oh, because Sarah says, could it be racial? Could it be because of this? Because, you know? But do you think you're throwing fire onto something that's
onto me?
Like I said, right? Black people are reactionary people. They're not a pro-actionary people. Had I not seen that, there would have been no video. I reacted to that video.
You realise that I reacted to burning the wall, burning the flag, smashing up the centre tower.
Yeah, but the way in which you reacted...
What?
Yeah, but you do understand that was reactionary. Totally reactionary.
Yeah, I understand, but the way you...
Have you seen the images of them burning the flag?
I haven't, I'm not going to lie to you.
You need to see it, because she gets up in front of everyone cheering, and in fact, then the other images, I put it into my hour-long video, fuck the Union Jack, fuck the Union Jack. The other images of a black hand punching a white face on a big banner that they're holding up. All of these things played a part in why I went on that rant. I know people just saw the rant, but you don't see what I'm watching before that. Did you see the image of the young boy getting booted everywhere? The young white boy is 17 years old while they're booting him, talking about 400 years of slavery. Or the other boy that lifted up his top and they start, I put it all into my video. They start juking him in the back, little white lads, and they're all screaming at him and jumping all over him. All of these things, my head did explode, and I accept it exploded. But all of these things I see as a problem of race-based politics. And I see as getting the far left can't win an election through votes. They cannot do it. Okay. So what's next? Bring down the system. How do they bring down the system? Well, those little scruffy middle class wimps from Antifa can't bring down the system.
Yeah.
The black community, the black disenfranchised, angry youth. We'll wind them up about historical abuses. We'll flood all these false headlines, flood all this false narrative. Which look, if you go through BLM, hands up, don't shoot, lie. The original shooting that she said, what they said was by a white supremacist, lie. The police officer who shot him was Hispanic. There's lie after lie after lie. This organisation lied. And the purpose of it is to get young, angry black men out on the streets to riot and do what they can't do. And that's what I see happening. And my rant was as much as, not just because I'm angry now, I'm angry about the black community being used. I'm angry about it. Sorry, I interrupted you.
And also, with actual Black Lives Matter now, you said earlier on, and I'm so glad that Tommy didn't answer it, because I feel you was guiding him down a little path when you said about nationalism. Okay, I am a black British nationalist. I'm proud of my country. So would you now say, because now you know that I'm one of the people who went to support the statues because it's my country. In the rant, I saw nothing wrong because he said our statues, our this. Believing for me, when I've seen it, it means ours as British, no matter where you went.
No matter what colour.
No matter what colour, what sexual orientation, whatever. You're British, they're going to destroy something, a bit like what IS did when they went to take over the Arab land. They took down the statues. So that's the first bit. So when I heard that, I had a totally different reaction. But I'm a black British nationalist. But would you say then my life doesn't matter so much now?
What do you mean? No, of course your life matters. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Because
No.
Do I think that your life doesn't matter so much?
because now I'm a black British. You said about nationalism, try and cut that line of saying you're a white nationalist, you're a black nationalist. You know?
Yeah, but I don't wish to do anything to people's lives.
So,
like your life matters, bro.
Black Lives Matter, as the organisation, wouldn't support me for that reason.
Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
wouldn't support you.
Yeah.
Because you are
Because
black
I'm
British.
proud black British.
Well, I'm not Black
nationalist.
Lives Matter, bro.
But
So.
would you say because you're black nationalist as well? That's what I'm saying. You're black nationalist, but you
Yeah,
don't
but that's
see
got nothing to do with
England
Black Lives
as-
Matter. All right. Right. All right, cool. Next question.
I did 10 years as a military soldier, and what I saw they did to the monuments and stuff, yeah, it was really bad, and I didn't like what I saw either. But I look at that and I think I can distinguish whether they're just idiots. Am I going to tie them to the brush with everybody that was marching that day? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I feel like what you said was having a pop at everybody, and it was going to cause friction. And that's what I felt when I listened to what you said. And I personally think that what I've been through and what I've experienced as a soldier, I just don't get why you would have said what you
More
said.
like a cop to me.
Do we distinguish that difference with other organisations? If the English Defence League rioted and smashed up, say, a mosque or something like that, would we distinguish and say, but, well, hold on a minute, the majority of them were sound. The majority of them were there doing something else.
But on that day, there was thousands of people.
I'm aware, but the thousands of people, and again, my problem with it was, I can't believe there's thousands of people marching under that banner, knowing what that banner is.
But we've already distinguished the day.
That they didn't know what the banner was? But that's I find that pretty ridiculous that people are getting behind a cause without understanding.
I think,
yeah, so do I.
And most of the people probably in this room know why black people were marching on that day.
Yeah.
We all know what the real reasons were. Do you know, I've spoken to black people.
What were the real reasons?
It's
in London?
This being treated the same as a white person.
Okay, so do you think from that demonstration that day, because I'll show you the videos, a black hand punching a white face on a banner?
But is that all you was looking at? Was you not looking
I looked through the demonstration. I saw fuck the Union Jack, fuck the Union Jack. I saw racism, which was that. I saw another black girl when she walked past a police officer and a police officer said all lives matter. She said, fuck you, no they don't. I watched multiple things and I know that organisation.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone in the chat said, can you pause? Because they need to say something. I think they probably want you to answer them.
Oh. Who?
Chock full o' nuts.
Who?
You know who it is, but Chock full o' nuts said, pause, I need to speak to him.
Yeah, okay.
Wendy, you know that idiot Brian Hurrell? Right? He's making threats to who he thinks is my children. He's threatening to kill children. He's also anybody that speaks out against him. He is reporting them for malicious communications. And
but for him to report malicious communications, he's got to have evidence.
Yes, well, what he's done, he's shown me the stuff. I've got independent people that's listened to him last night, speaking to me over the phone, and I have audio proof of him. He is absolutely not right in the head.
We know.
Well, you can talk to him in a minute because he's on the panel.
I don't want to speak to him. He is completely off his nut.
Yeah.
You should not have him on your platform. He's threatening children.
Wow.
I'm going to save up the audio and I'm posting it to Chelmsford Police.
Whose children is he threatening?
He thinks I'm Alan Mitchell. He's threatening to kill James Mitchell and Michelle Bingham, who've got absolutely nothing to do with me. These people are not the people that he's thinking. He's getting all this information for Craig Houston, who has not got a clue. So he's making threats to people that have got nothing to do with YouTube or anything. Now, see, Wendy, honestly, I would kick him off your panel.
I've heard that name, Craig Houston, before. Where have I heard that name?
Kip Clips.
Ah, right.
Anybody that's threatening to kill a child, you should never have them on your panel.
I'm here, Wendy.
So you're threatening to kill children?
No, Wendy, I can send you the WhatsApp. I've got messages from him last night, 72 messages, right? Saying he's going to put my children up on the internet. I will send them to you now, Wendy, on WhatsApp. And said, Blanca, my wife, is on Pornhub, and I hope that her pussy is wet because he wants to fuck her. Now, I will send you this.
I did not say that.
His children are 32 and 36. They're not children. Wendy, I'll quite happily WhatsApp them to you now, saying to me he wants to fuck my wife, and I hope a gowie, whatever a gowie is wet and wet because he's going to put it right up her. Yeah? Then I've got a message. I could send it to you. He said that he's going to put my children's pictures up there. And I'll tell you now, so we're on live, and you can put this. I will cut this man's fingers off one by one, and you can put that fucking out there.
All right, can you go back on? Okay. Oh, listen. Go back on mute. I'm going to play this video.
I want to say something to him, Wendy. Brian, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but don't come up on this platform making threats, all right?
I'm not making threats. I never threat to you. I told Alan Mitchell he threatened to put my children's pictures up on the internet and wants to rape my wife. I will fuck him up. Use this as you please. I will fuck him up.
Until he calms down, chuck him off.
I'm gone. Wendy, I'll send you the audio files.
Yeah, if you could. Yeah.
Cheers, Jupiter. Thanks, Wendy. I'm off. I'll see you later.
Right.
You coward. You coward.
Right.
Because they got you striked, Wendy.
No, I want to get on with this video, not that.
So I know who's pushing it. I know what's driving it. I know the purpose of it. And I saw it as being very successful within 2 weeks in our country. So you're right, because many of my friends have got this angry because they got behind the sentiment Black Lives Matter. To set the record straight, I totally believe Black Lives Matter. Yeah, totally. Again, if it was a march for equality, that wasn't a march for equality. That was organised, orchestrated. If you look at the slogans that were sprayed on the war memorials, they were anarchist slogans. The infiltration, or I've seen the word infiltration of this movement, but it's not an infiltration of this movement. I've seen the BBC come out recently saying, oh, the organisation's been infiltrated. It was formed 9 years ago by trained Marxists. It's had this purpose from day dot. It's had this reasoning from day dot. This has not been infiltrated or hijacked. This is what the movement is. It's like taking the KKK in America and then the KKK coming here and saying, yeah, but they're supporting certain white things. And some white person's been murdered, so we're marching under the banner KKK. It's like, no, the banner KKK means a lot more. Well, Black Lives Matter, once you do your research, executed 11 police officers in 1 year. Yeah? Black man murdered 5 of them and said his purpose for doing so was because they was white police officers. If you look at what that organisation has done, what's the definition of terrorism? The latest leader, the leader in this country, Gary McFarlane, who was put on the radio as the leader of Black Lives Matter, when he was asked that question, are you proud?
Like I said, you know about the 2006 police report, right?
My problem is that's not a banner that anyone should be marching under. And in fact,
what is the definition of terrorism?
Formula One this week showed that.
I'm not condoning, right, the murder of police officers, but I'm saying, like I said, it's reactionary. If we already know this is what has been going on for decades amongst black people, listen, when people are aggrieved, Tommy, they're going to push back. Okay. And I'm not condoning the violence.
Neither am I, that's actually what's going to happen. But a fact is that you're 18.5 times more likely to be shot as a police officer by a black man than you are as a black man by a police officer. 18.5 times more likely. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't like the police. I don't like the police in this country. I generally don't like the establishment. What I'm saying is it has to be based on truths. If people are getting angry that they're willing to go tear down things and riot and kill and murder and shoot people and kill people, it can't be based on false narratives. It can't.
I don't think you understand, but okay.
Hello. Right. You might think this is very odd, but I want people to think about, when anybody has thought about, what is the relationship between Black Lives Matter, COVID-19, and climate change? And they're all the same thing, actually. Now, I've just spent the morning in Westminster at the Magistrates' Court with Piers Corbyn. And on Sunday, 7 of us were all given tickets, and 19 people were arrested in Hyde Park, including a friend of mine and Piers. And they were arrested for protesting at the same time as Black Lives Matter and one of them was black. One of the ones with me was black. But basically, we were protesting against the lockdown. Now, if you go to Agenda 21 in the UN, which was in 1995, it's very clear what they want. And these are run by, it doesn't matter, I don't care what race they are, okay? One of them's a Canadian called Strong. He said, I can't win in the electoral box, but if I get in the UN, especially with climate, I can destroy the industrial base of the West, and the West industrial base must be destroyed. And I believe that the restrictions, and so does Piers Corbyn, on COVID-19 are identical, because we know what's happening. We've got the Democratic election coming up, the election in the US, and they want to destroy Trump. And to destroy Trump, you destroy the industrial base. And to destroy white man, you destroy the industrial base. Now, your lives and every single person's life in this room are going to be massively affected. I mean, the reason why climate change is the best way to destroy the industrial production of the West as well is exactly the same thing. And, you know, if
you what, love?
Yeah, but the recent scientists are coming out to say that it's all fake and that was all just an agenda as well.
What, that climate change?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Angel Moon's still here?
Yeah.
Oh, she's quiet.
I'm here. Well, I was muted. I thought you told us to mute. I'm just being a good girl.
If you've got something, if you've got something to say, love, you know, it's the normal rules apply. Yeah, you just say stop or whatever if you've got something to comment on. That's all.
Well, I'd like to say that this woman is 100% correct what she's saying. All this agenda is a left agenda to divide us. The UN Agenda 21, 2030 is against the people. The UN should be, you know, like demolished. That's, right. I think she's spot on. Yeah.
And Piers,
it's never worked for us. The UN. It's never worked for the people at all.
So does this Piers Moore Corbyn? Does he not follow his brother's politics? Ah, okay then. Okay.
He's been down the park a few times. He's dead against climate change and all that. He knows it's a false lie. He knows it's lies. Yeah.
Okay then.
If you put 375 billion into climate change research to get one answer, you get one answer. But my real thing, I know I'm giving a speech rather than answering a question, but I want people to think about it, because actually this is a fight about white on white. And the war that's going to happen in this country is going to be white on white. And you guys and the Muslims will be just spectators in this thing, because this is about Antifa, and this is about the real far left who want to destroy Britain and America and the entire Western world against the conservatives. And that includes destroying the family, destroying everything. And that's what happened. I mean, that's what I believe is happening. And that's why COVID-19.
Did you say stop?
I said they're all anarchists and they're communists.
Yeah.
And climate change. I'll just give you one little fact about climate change. Oh yeah, but I mean, do you believe that? Because that's what I believe. That you're just participants on the side of this.
You see, we're pawns in the game, basically.
Sorry?
Is that you're saying like we're pawns in the game?
Of course you're pawns. Soros doesn't care one little bit. He wants to destroy people who and there was somebody asked about the money. I mean, the money. Why are these guys? Why is Amazon supporting this stuff? Why are they supporting it? Well, or whoever, McDonald's, Starbucks. Well, I'm asking you, the question is, do you think that COVID-19, climate change, and Black Lives Matter are all the same thing? That's my question.
I think there's a possibility for anything nowadays. So I would not discount what you said. I would have to definitely do more research into it. That's my answer.
For me, in your rant, you've targeted George Soros directly, and I think you kind of knew what he was doing. Different. As my brother before,
always got to be one, hasn't it?
It's just a Tommy bashing instead of a debate.
So I basically want to ask two questions that
This is a dick.
try and make you understand the actual statement. Would you agree that by default, white lives matter, as people who look like you created and perpetuate the actual race ranking system or categories, whatever you want to call it, for which the black life was placed at the bottom of?
I'll say again.
So would you agree that by default, white lives matter? Because the gentleman here said, oh, if I say white lives matter...
Would you agree that I'm saying that white lives matter because the people who built the British system, which put black people at the bottom, were white?
No, I'm saying, would you agree that by default, your life matters, yeah? Anyway, regardless, because the race system and categories were created by people that look like you. So there would be no such thing as race if a white person didn't create it.
What's he going on
Hang
about?
on, hang on, wait, I got a question for Jupiter here. I don't know if she can remember. That guy on Wake Up UK last night, he said he'd spoken to you about all this race and black and white. In which way does he mean it's lies and doesn't exist? Because
basically, white people across Europe and in Britain were enslaved before black people.
Okay.
They created the term white. It never existed. And black doesn't actually mean anything dark. It means glittering, shining, and other stuff.
Ah, okay then.
They inverted the meaning of it.
All right. Okay.
And they specifically placed black people at the bottom. So
historically on that, because what? So is this getting on? So what privilege do I have as a white man from this white system?
What
colour of my skin? So when my mother come here, there was no blacks. When my mum come here, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. My family went through the same discrimination that many people have gone through in this country. Just explain to me how I benefit.
Okay. But regardless of where you are in that ranking, no matter what you are, you're still ranked above bottom. And black
ranked by who? Ranked by who?
By the system that was created by people like you. So race is a thing.
No, it's them that's. You know what I think?
Like race and class as well. Is that?
I think they're beginning to rank themselves. That do you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Can I just say something? You know, Tommy, he just said by people like you, from a system by people like you. It totally isn't. It is a class system in Britain. It always has been.
Yeah.
Like Tommy's working class. The working class have never had a say. They're not in a boys' club or anything. Do you know what I mean? That will get high positions.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. They're quite correct that when the system was created, it was created by white people in a predominantly white country, because we've always had some level of immigrants, even if it's only been 0.01. But the fact of the matter is that let's just say that when it was created, it was 100% of the white people, like they're trying to say. In that case, who was going to be at the bottom in the absence of black people?
Exactly.
Working class people.
White people.
Yeah.
So what are they talking about? There was always meant to be people at the bottom.
Well, I'm beginning to think that they see themselves at the bottom of something that's not there. They see themselves as at the bottom.
But this is a Marxist indoctrination within schools and universities.
They are within the system right up to the top, because they've got politicians, teachers, doctors. So they've got white collar workers. They've got people who are right at the bottom that are below the poverty line. They've got people at working class level, middle class and upper class, white collar workers, blue collar workers, and even in the establishment. They're talking shit. It's proportional representation. It's the best that we can do within the system that we've got. They've got equality rules. They've got redress within the system if anything goes wrong. And we've got positive discrimination. There is equality in this country.
Yeah, I know there is, love. Yeah.
Race is
someone just didn't go.
The classification of races was created. The classification of races, blacks, whites, the caste system was created. Not by black people, but by white people, is what I think the brother's trying to say.
And regardless of the percentages that you brought up and the statistics that you brought up as a white person and the struggles that you brought, your actual life like your life, and that's why the term Black Lives Matter, we mostly march for that, will always be held in a higher regard than a black person. Full stop.
How is that a fact? But
that is a fact. That is a fact. Because if that's not a fact, then your percentages that you're pulling up can't be fact, because we know that black people are at the bottom. It doesn't. If you was to,
How do you know?
Sorry,
Because you live in your environment illusion.
We know that.
So growing up in, so just so I understand. So me growing up in Luton Town, yeah, where everyone is the sons of immigrants.
Yeah.
I mean all of us.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. Explain to me how my life was worth more than my best mates at school.
So we could have grew up in the same area.
Yep.
Gone through the same things.
Yep.
But because of a system that was created by people like you, whether you know them, whatever it is, because of your skin color, you will always be put on a higher pedestal than myself.
No, total. I just,
By who though?
No, I
Who's
can't.
putting them on a pedestal?
No, in fact, no, I can't accept it, bro.
Historically, Tommy, historically.
Oh, historically.
Historically, have white lives mattered more than black lives historically?
Oh, God.
Yes.
Right.
Depends
Do you
at
think
what
there's
point-
any hangover?
That depends at what
Why
point.
this, Tommy? Why are you saying yeah?
That matters at what point in time we're talking about. How far back do you want to go?
But even the working class in the olden days, Jupiter, like the 4-year-olds used to go up the chimneys. The 4-year-olds were working in the mills and had to sleep.
Because before that, they were enslaved. This is what we've come to understand.
They were bloody sold as well, weren't they? They used to sell the children.
It was written into law, in the English law. He's got all the stuff. It was written into law. White people were enslaved first, but they don't talk about it.
I do believe they don't anymore.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
What happened there?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think they see a system that's not there anymore, to be honest.
What they're doing is they're bringing in the mentality from America and placing it upon the psyche of Britain, which it doesn't belong there. And also, like I say, endlessly, and this is the truth, and this is why white people also are falling into this trap, is because of the common purpose training in the schools and colleges, because it's all Marxist, and they're putting this side. It's literally brainwashing what they're doing to the people. That's what it is. Yeah.
He isn't helping, is he? This guy.
Well, because he's brainwashed, he's probably been fortunate enough to go to uni, like a lot of white people haven't, in working class areas. He's probably because once they put the fees up to 9,000, a lot of working class people can't go to university anymore. But like Jupiter said, with positive discrimination and bursaries and this and that and the other, a lot of people in minorities get to go because they have, funding for it. So the white people are left out of it.
Historical fact in this society right now.
But again, I can only bring it back to growing up in Luton Town. Yeah. No, I don't.
Right. So
everyone has been in that town.
Would you not agree that by default, your life matters more than mine, because the people that make the decisions that are in the places of power look like you and not me?
Has that held you back?
Yes.
That's not what he's asking.
How has that held you back?
That's not what he's asking.
You're asking a question.
That's not what he's asking.
With a question. Answer the question.
Yeah, go on, ask me the question.
By default, the people that created the system, or the people that are in positions of power in this country, whatever country you want to go to, look like you. So regardless of whether we had the same upbringing, you got bullied, I got bullied.
So because this country, because people who previously, before my time, who were white.
No, even now, I'm saying, me and you, like if we're the same age and we had the same upbringing, I grew up in Luton. Yeah. When someone's walking around, will you be held in a higher regard than me because of the people in positions of power look like you?
No.
Oh, I don't believe I would. No. I think what you're talking about is classism. Yeah, you're bringing it down to race. That comes down to class. That comes down to class. What you're talking about is class.
Firstly, I'd just like to compliment Sarah and Big Bro on a really well run event.
What's he doing now?
Thank you.
I found myself nodding along to points made by Tommy and nodding along to points made by Sarah through the conversation. So Big Bro was very clear. He did want us to ask questions and not make speeches. So I'm going to ask 3 questions.
Oh, gosh.
And then I'd like you to bounce around those questions.
Okay.
So first question goes off something that Alan said, which is that there's clear evidence that there are white working class communities that are struggling and marginalised. And it is also, I think, a fact that huge numbers, huge swathes of the black community also feel marginalised and discriminated against and forgotten. Are we therefore not actually talking, rather than a race issue, are we actually not talking about a class issue? So that's my first question. Second question. This one's more aimed at Sarah. Do you believe that white people today have some kind of guilt because of the crimes that were committed by white people in the past towards black people?
Okay.
So that's a question for you, specifically for you. And then the last
try
question,
and answer them one after the other.
Yeah, and then the last question to both of you is, let us just assume, so that you don't have to state it, that the church has failed to come out into this topic in any meaningful or significant way. What is it that both of you would like to see the church coming out and saying and doing with regards to the topics you've talked about?
So first question is...
So the first question is, because there are examples of white working class communities also being marginalized, just like the common experience of many black people, are we not actually talking about a class issue rather than a race issue?
I personally believe that race and class are intertwined. Just like my brother over there said, the people that made the class and the race categorization did not look like me. They looked like you.
They didn't talk like me.
It didn't matter whether they spoke like you. I'm just saying they didn't look like you.
What I mean is, if what your man said was true, then 1,400 children...
He's completely missed the point.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. Yep. He's just happy. To be honest with you, he's another one of these professional victims, if you ask me.
Yeah, he completely missed the point there.
And he does know, because of previous videos that he's done, that Sarah's not out of his depth yet, but he's making himself look out of depth because he's being negative.
Yeah.
In Rotherham would not have been raped because they were white and the system would have protected them.
All right, so if we go to...
Well, there you're saying yeah, I'm saying I think so. What you're saying is it because I'd have a preference because the people who have created the legal system and every system are white, so they'd prefer me. Is that basically the point? Yeah, but if that's the case, why did they not prefer all of the young white girls?
There's only a certain amount of you can sit at the top table.
It's class. Yeah, but that's class.
Yeah,
Can I say something, Wendy? Yeah.
He doesn't they don't understand the class system in this country.
Wendy, can I just say something?
Yeah. Sorry.
If they preferred somebody like Tommy because he's white, how come that girl who's screaming, black power on the streets and wanting to cause a revolution is not in jail, and yet he's been in jail how many times for saying far less provocative stuff? Do you know what I mean? They're talking through the bloody... Oh, I won't say what, but you know what I mean.
I can't believe that they're pretending they don't understand the class system. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, that doesn't benefit. Yeah, but you think the elite care about me more than they care about you? What's that? I'm collateral damage. Yeah. But I'm not benefit. But what my point is, which I took from your question, is that somehow I'm going to be treated better and benefit better. They don't give a shit about me if they don't give a shit about you. That doesn't care. They don't care if I'm black or white. They don't care if the victim of a rape is black, white, or Asian. They don't give a shit. They care for the globe. They care for the global. If there was a what?
Guys.
Well, you believe that of me? You believe that of me?
Guys.
You believe that of me?
Guys.
All right. So to answer your question,
Call Tommy Robinson out, yeah?
Guys.
Hang on.
Firstly, I hear your answer. You think it is a race.
I think race and class are intertwined.
You think it's a class issue?
I think it's a class issue. That's not to say that I don't believe the elite aren't racist. That's not to say that. What I'm saying is I don't believe
You just don't believe you're one.
I'm not the fucking elite, bro.
No, you're a racist.
I'm not a racist, mate. I actually got quite.
Oh, here he goes again.
My second question was in particularly Sarah. Do you believe that white people today have some kind of guilt connected to the fact that our ancestors committed crime?
I believe some white people do have guilt.
I don't.
But what I found with white guilt in my own experience is that it tends to raise its ugly head in narcissism. And when I say that,
so you can't do
I
anything
was
right.
watching a video of a bunch of white people in America chain themselves, right, and wear T-shirts, say "I'm sorry" while walking down the street, looking really solemn. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, we don't want to put you in chains again. Like, if you feel guilty about that, that's cool, but we don't want to put you in chains again. But it's narcissistic because they're now making it about themselves again.
Are we culpable though?
Should we feel guilty?
Are white people today culpable for the crimes of our ancestors?
What happens with white people today is that you benefit, your nations benefit from myself and Big Bro done a talk, and we spoke about Barclays Bank. Okay,
hang on, wait a minute. Has this guy had a personality transplant?
I know.
It's weird.
Good grief. There must be more money to be had jumping on the BLM bandwagon, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because this isn't what he used to.
You know what he did halfway through this when it went live? Do you know what he did?
What, love?
Put an advert in for donations halfway through.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm just watching it now. Actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah,
it was so bloody embarrassing. Him talking in the middle, asking for donations.
Well, there you go. There you go.
There you are.
That's where the turnarounds come. Yeah, and they talk about Tommy with his donations.
That built the finance of these nations through slavery. So what your nation has done is you have benefited from, and you currently benefit from the takings and the spoils.
But do you benefit?
I currently benefit in this country.
Okay.
I currently benefit
should you feel
from state. I don't feel guilty.
But should you feel? Should I feel?
He doesn't feel guilty.
I'm not telling you if you feel guilty or not. Like,
hang on, wait a minute.
No,
so he's benefiting as a black man from slavery, but he doesn't feel guilty.
Yeah, and you that they would more than anybody. Someone said this to me the other day, right? Can you believe this? Someone said to me, yeah, but we were paying off the slaveholder owners.
That's right. Yeah.
2017, I think. Right?
Yeah.
So
15. Yeah.
I said, yeah, but that's not actually true. What we were paying was paying back the loan that we took to pay for the freedom of the slaves.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they added interest, and that's why it took so long, right? So they said, yeah, but because I'm a British citizen and I'm black, I've paid into that. Why should I? I said, well, why should any of us? But we have. I said, and I'll tell you something. I would like to think that if ever I was enslaved and the people of my generation borrowed money to free me, that my grandchildren wouldn't be sitting there saying, I don't have to pay anything. Because at the end of the day, I would think that they should be the ones that would want to pay for my freedom more than anybody.
Well, they benefit from it as well, don't they? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they've benefited from that situation. So why shouldn't they? By being in a free country. Yeah.
You know, I reckon Tommy's it's fine. I think Tommy is controlling himself very well. Yeah. I think that's the only way I can put it. Yeah, in full control.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I feel like. I feel like this is what I feel like. If you apologize for something, if you apologize for something, or if you're sorry about something, I really do believe that apology is not enough. I don't believe.
Do you think I've got anything to apologize for to do with slavery?
Hang on, I'm not finished. So, an apology is not just words. An apology is also action, right? So,
Well, you'd say variations. Is that what
so when people say, "Oh, do you know what? I never owned a slave. You know, it wasn't me. Nothing to do with me." I'm like, okay, cool. But the benefits in which the benefits that you have from your nation, taken from all these
that
people,
that he lives in.
Yeah. However, I also live in a country where social-economically, right, it's a double-edged sword, because socioeconomically, people that look like me are at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder.
God, I will.
So while I may benefit, people that
What
look
reason
like
do you believe
me.
that is?
Sorry, just before you start interviewing one another
Yes,
again,
sir.
can I get an answer to my third question? So my third question, and this, if you take it in turns to answer, please, is so that you don't have to stay it. Let's just say that the church has flopped on this issue, like it flops on so many other issues.
Oh, we don't give a
What
fuck
do you
about
want
the
church to
Why
be
did you have to
doing
bring
and
that up?
saying with regards to the topics that you've talked about?
Well, how can the
Thank
church
you again,
help?
both of you, for your time.
The church still get involved in politics.
I despise the church. So I think it's the most weak, pathetic, cowardly leadership I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're weak.
Tell them how you really feel.
No, I think they're weak on every. I think the church is weak on every issue, and it's been weak on every issue, and it's been a total sellout to its.
So what would you like the church?
What I'd like them to do.
Yeah, because that's the question. I've already said the church is what. The question is, what do you want the church to be saying?
I don't know if I necessarily want the church to do anything. I don't look to the church and say, "Oh my God, what's the church going to say?" I don't. That's
Personally, I'm disappointed the Nigerian pastor's gone, because
Has he gone?
Church, I was hoping the Black Church would have a pivotal role in what's about to happen. I genuinely, truthfully believe this country is heading to massive conflict, and I never thought it was. I never saw race problems. I've said for years, we're going to head into this big Islam, not Muslims and non-Muslims clash, where I always saw black people by our side. What I've witnessed in the last 4-6 weeks, the level of funding behind that organisation, the purpose of the organisation and what it's going to do in the United States before the election in 2020. I was hoping the Black Church would play a pivotal role in preventing.
I mean, the church, though.
In preventing and separating black community from an anarchist, Marxist, mass destructive
But the
movement.
church, essentially, in these days and times, is a monetarily led organization. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can have your faith in whatever you want, but the actual institution it's about money. So I would think that if the church aren't benefiting financially from this, they're probably not going to get involved.
I just think, as I've said,
that's really telling.
I think like yourself, Sarah,
that is really telling, because what he's doing is projecting his own thoughts there.
Yeah. He's pissing me off. He's really getting on my nerves. But I'm glad Tommy's able to keep his cool.
Sarah's exposed himself big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, when Tommy was saying he found the church weak and let down, why don't you tell them how you really feel, Tommy? Well, he was.
Yeah. He's a hustler.
Yeah. Fucking big white trainers on him.
Anyone who's willing to speak up, there's a massive place for someone to separate the black community from the Marxist destruction. And it needs to happen. And truthfully, I know some people, you may sit here and people don't like me, they may not like me. I generally don't want to see clashes. And I generally gauge the moment where we're heading. And I played my own part in that, which I've held my hands up to. And I would put my hand out to anyone who wants to take it to help them or to try and prevent clashes. Or I believe we are pawns. Who else said that question? I believe we're total pawns. I believe I've walked into it as a pawn. And I believe that those clashes they want to bring on the streets of this country. And I think that they're coming. And I think there's a massive, and there's a lot of work to be done to prevent them. And that doesn't mean everyone's going to agree on every single issue, because most people are going to disagree.
Do you think this is helping?
Totally. This is the most needed conversation to have. And I think that Big Bro setting this up and yourself setting this up there should be question time setting up. This debate should be had on national TV so that people can understand the difference and the separation of what this organisation is going to do and bring up. The problem you've got is that so many people have researched this organisation. So many people now understand it. So people understand it. So when they see masses getting behind it, it's just. Look, I think that I saw what Carl Henry put, that there's a massive void now for an organisation to be filled that's non-racist, that's non-this, that's non-that, but that's promoted.
It's funny you talk about question time. So I was speaking to, sorry to just cut, we'll get to another question next. The Black Opinion is the talk show. The Black Opinion is the talk show.
No,
Again,
it's not question time. It's
show.
not.
We are not Channel 4. We're not.
Even that's divisive, Wendy.
But yeah,
even that's divisive.
Question. How long's question time been around? I mean, think about it. They've had just about everyone you can think of on that show.
But you see that self-promotion, that's sickening, that is.
Yeah.
But even the name of his show is divisive.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. That is so low class.
Yeah. The Black Opinion. Why just the Black Opinion though? See that, you know what I mean? That's divisive in itself. But where's everybody else's opinion? Do they not matter again?
No,
you know what I mean?
No. Obviously not.
News. We're not BBC News. We're not Channel 4.
I just hope it gets the viewers, which I think it will, until the elite flag it because I'm on it and put all these warnings, and you can't share it or comment on it, and it gets banned from every bloody social media.
No, but
and if you share it on Facebook, it gets deleted.
But we want to, our clan, right? Me and my organisation, we want to change the narrative for ourselves of what Black people are seen as. Generally, I think intelligent Black conversation is needed, and we all do. We think intelligent Black conversation is needed. We don't necessarily need a question time because there are now platforms for us to do this ourselves.
So I think the mainstream public that's not Black needs to be involved in watching and listening to these debates.
100%.
Well done, you, Tommy.
Next question.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. I'm really glad that this has happened. It's been a long time overdue. I've got 3 simple questions. The first one would be, can Black people be racist? Question number 2, collectivism or individualism? And my final question, specifically to you, Sarah. I watched with intent your video with Big Bro. Very interesting. A lot that I agreed with. Some parts I didn't, actually. In that, you talked about Wakanda 2.0.
Wakanda 2.0, yeah.
Which specifically about the statues.
Yes.
Yes. You mentioned a few names of statues that you'd erect in Wakanda 2.0.
Wakanda.
Idi Amin was one of them.
Idi Amin, yeah.
Robert Mugabe was another
one. Mugabe, yeah.
Oh my God.
Thomas Sankara.
Yes.
Was it Thomas Sankara?
Listen to this question. I'm going to see what
so my question is specifically on perhaps Idi Amin and Robert Mugabe. Given the fact that they murdered a lot of their own Black people, did their Black lives matter?
Clearly not to them. Clearly not to them.
So why is he going to put a statue?
What was the first question?
Boom. Yeah.
Can Black people be racist? I would say this: if Black people can be racist, they're really bad at it. If they can be racist, because with racism,
they're pretty good at it.
I think
they're good at it. Yeah,
can be race prejudice. I think all people can be race prejudice. Okay, they can not like a certain race of people based on the color of their skin. Racism, for me, is you have to add power to the base. Because I can say to you, I don't like you because you're white, right? I have not adversely affected your life. Nothing's changed with me saying that to you. However, if I have the power to adversely affect the life and the life of all the white people in here, it becomes different. So if I say, actually, I don't like their color of their skin, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to marginalize them and I'm going to enslave them. I'm going to take their children and I'm going to do, then the...
When do we take their children? What the fuck? What is he talking about?
I know. Idi Amin, he's supporting, he wants a statue of Idi Amin. I mean, I've heard it all now.
I want to point something out here. He is going by the American definition, not the dictionary definition of Britain. He's going by the American definition, which is prejudice plus power. Now, as we've established, there are people in the working classes who are at the bottom and they have no power. Therefore, Working class people, according to Sarah, cannot, and I repeat it again, cannot be racist.
Yeah. Wow, what is
I'm shocked. I'm shocked
Yeah,
at him
so am
saying that.
I. Yeah.
I can't believe it. I mean, didn't Idi Amin even eat his own child or something and put another one in
Idi
place?
Amin was evil beyond,
Yeah.
honestly. So in his world of Akunu, or whatever it's called, O2, or whatever, he wants a statue of Mugabe, the murderer, and a statue of another mass murderer. That's very interesting, isn't it, really?
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
The act of race prejudice becomes what I would see as racism. And I believe everyone can be race prejudiced. But if black people can be race prejudiced, they're really bad at it because, you know, I would say black people's racism is one reactionary. It's reactionary. When black people do something to white people, it's not because black people woke up one day and said, actually, we don't like them just because they're white. Black people wake up, and if they don't like white people or whoever, it's because of an event. It's because of something that happened. It's not, they didn't just wake up with hate in their heart. Do you understand what I mean?
No,
so I'm not saying that black people cannot be race prejudiced. I'm just saying if...
What, Jupiter?
They've been groomed to be racist.
Yes, of course they have. Yeah.
What I've discovered in the last few weeks is that there's a lot within the black community, in fact, across the whole community, there are fatherless homes. And a lot of these black mums, I've listened to a lot of black men on the YouTube recently, in America and in Britain. And when they get onto their attitude towards whites, a lot of them talk about that when they're raised up within the black community, and especially with black mums, they're raised up to not trust white people, to believe that white people have not got their interests at heart, and therefore they form an opinion of white people before they even get to meet them. So they're actually groomed to be racist.
Yeah. I can't believe what I really can't believe what I've just been listening to be honest.
Yeah. Go on, it gets better.
Black people are racist. They're not very good at it.
Okay, the other part was collectivist or individualist. Which one are you for or against?
In what sense?
Well, collectivism per se. So let's just look in the rounds of Karl Marx, for example. It's the age-old argument, isn't it? Collectivism versus individualism.
To move forward, you've got to move forward as a collective, though, generally.
Well, I think it's about individual responsibility as well. So I think this is where the collectivist ideology overrides the individual, in as much as the individual, the empowerment of the individual is taken away. And I mean by personal responsibility,
Can't you find a happy medium in between those?
Don't get me wrong, I believe that there is. But when we're talking about the power dynamics and we're talking about...
But you said this one or that one.
Well, this is the point that I'm coming to, because if we're going to think about erecting statues for the likes of Idi Amin, or if we're going to raise statues for the likes of Robert Mugabe, we're talking
What's wrong with Robert Mugabe?
Sorry?
What's wrong with Robert Mugabe?
He was a Marxist and he killed his own people en masse.
Okay.
So I'm just saying there's
his own people. But you see that statement, right?
Yes.
His own people. This
black people.
Right. Okay. But if white people kill white people, is that their own people, or is there a nuance within there where, as a reason why they killed them, is because?
Oh, it's quite different because he killed them because they were of the wrong tribe or something, and also they were unarmed. Women and children, and they were put in mass graves. Quite a fucking difference.
Right, I want to say something here before we go on to listen to what Sarah says. And the reason I want to say it first and not after is because I want people to pick up on it and understand what I'm saying. Sarah Garvey will go on in a minute to talk about mindset, and he will use it as an excuse. Now, from the day I came into Speaker's Corner, I made it very clear that I believed there was an anti-white, anti-Western agenda going on because I'd seen it on Rafi's panel. But that in actual fact, our biggest threat was mindset. In this country, our biggest threat is mindset. It's not about race hating. White people do not hate people by colour in general. Okay? It's not because we want to control what they believe, but we want beliefs in this country that are conducive with us. We want people that share our goals and our values. Our biggest fight is mindset. So we don't really care if the woman two doors down the road is a Pakistani and she cooks us curry every day. But what we do care about is if the woman down the road 2 doors down invites a load of friends over and they pray in the street and block the fucking road.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? What we do care is if the woman down the street 2 doors down has got a son that goes around raping little white girls and that all the people that she knows cover it up because they're covering up for an ideology that has encouraged it in the extreme.
Yeah.
Right? It's about mindset. It's about the mindset, understanding the British culture and the British mindset and being conducive with us. Okay? So it's a mindset above all other things. If we can sort that problem out, everything else will fall into place. Now listen to what he says.
Mindset.
Because they weren't thinking the same as them. I think there's a nuance. So white people kill white people all the time.
Did he kill his own countrymen?
Right? Yeah, but
so his own people.
Hang on. All right, so I've got my own people, right? The people that I class as my own people. I can have wait, let me go somewhere. I can have family members, they're my own people, right? My family is my own people. But if my family are plotting to kill me, are they now my own people?
Yeah. Yes.
They're not my people, they're someone else's.
So
but because my people wouldn't plot to kill me. So when you see people try to quote unquote kill their own people, we have to understand the nuance. There may be a nuance within there where even though they look like them,
Tommy, don't
psychologically there was a difference.
Because they weren't Marxists, he killed them.
He's right, and he's
whatever
wrong.
what the reason was. So
I don't know.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is the people find their different reasons to kill people. I don't want to kill anyone, by the way.
No,
I'm just saying. But
I'm just a bit confused in the fact that you've elevated those.
I believe what Robert Mugabe did.
Individuals.
I believe what Robert.
You've talked in the generalised sense.
Yeah.
Black people, your people, which you're fully entitled to do. But that means all black people, or is it only a specific type of black people
Right.
that you want to support?
So I deal with people who are black who have the same psychology and the same political view as me. Okay, I want what's best for all black people generally, but I understand that not all black people are going to think like me. Just like with you have Labour, Conservative, Liberal Democrat, but I'm sure the country want the nation, to do good, right? So I understand that not all black people are going to agree all of the time. So I know even though I want the best for all black people, I understand that not all black people necessarily want the best for me. Do you know what I mean? So I have to understand that too. No problem. We are trying to bring you the best content possible. And with that, we're going to need your donations.
Right,
donate to the Black Opinion PayPal. We've been self-funded.
It ended now. It's ended.
Is that it?
Yeah. It ended really abruptly. It's really weird. Right. Now, I want to go over what he just said again because I want to make sure that people understand the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that Tommy is saying that Mugabe attacked his own people because he was not of the same mindset. So colour was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And that is the whole argument that Tommy is saying. It's not race. When white people are unhappy, it's not because of race, especially when it comes to the grooming scandal. It's about the fact of the mindset that allows them to do what they do. It's not conducive to the mindset of our country.
He's digging a massive hole for himself with these debates.
Own goal, a massive. Sarah did a massive own goal. He doesn't realise right now. This is the last point I want to make. For the last 2 times that I've encountered Ralph, I have made it abundantly clear that the extreme far right do not have the answers because it is not race that we are bothered about. And they are trying to fight a race war.
Well,
It's
you
not-
see, Sarah has just helped their.
No, he hasn't. He's actually helped Tommy because what he's
Yeah.
done is brought to the forefront that it's mindset.
Oh, I don't know. I just don't like him because of Mugabe now and Idi Amin. I can't believe that.
Idi Amin. Yeah, I'm gobsmacked. Yeah, hearing that. Seriously. Yeah, he's dug a hole.
He has fucked himself 100%.
Totally. Yeah. What an
He's
idiot.
exposed himself, and the kicker is he's actually given Tommy the Robinson. He said, "Yeah, you're basically right, Tommy. It is on mindset. It's on mindset. People have to have the same mindset of you. They're the people that are your people." That's what he's saying.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
You know,
But
I went
isn't
back
that segregating people as well?
Shut up, Sean. Okay, so listen. I went back over. Sean, be quiet a minute. Sean, be quiet. I'm not joking about. I'm not joking about. You can either fucking be quiet or listen.
Wendy, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Wendy.
yeah. Well, be quiet and listen, please.
Now, listen, Wendy, I've been waiting an hour and a half.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Listen.
Wow, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not had a tampon this month.
I'll throw him.
Yeah, you're going. You're going.
Wendy, can I just talk to you? Can I just talk to you seriously?
Wait a minute. I need to get rid of this dickhead. All right, go on. I'm not having that sort of talk, thank you. Right, look. As far as my advice for Tommy Robinson would be, never do another interview with that man. Never.
No,
Agreed.
Never do another, and stop apologizing, because I went over that rant video again today. Yeah, I listened to it, and there's nowhere in that rant video that the word black is mentioned. All that is mentioned is BLM.
Funny enough, I watched it again today as well, you know, because I was thinking, you know, have I missed something? You know, did I miss something? So I listened to it again today, and no, you know, to me, he was just being passionate about the destruction, the vandalism, the rioting, which there was rioting because they actually, you know, hurt a lot of policemen, and the two-tier system, whereas, like, you know, like I said, the police were with the normal hats on, they weren't in riot gear. Come on, you know what I mean?
No, but when he said, look, you know, my family, yeah. Now, if my family are plotting to kill me, does that make them my people? And to me, well, if it's your family, yeah, they're still your family, whether they're plotting to kill you or whether they're plotting to buy you a mansion, that it's still your family.
True. Well, Wendy, can
whoever that guy was,
Wendy, I've been waiting an hour and a half.
Yeah, but we're talking about this debate.
Have you got 5 minutes to talk to me, Wendy? Please.
She'll give you 5 minutes in a minute, because I'd like to just fucking make a comment to round this thing up, if you don't mind.
I've got no problem. I've got no problem with Kayla.
No.
Oh.
Okay, Jupiter. Yeah, carry on, love.
Bonnie or both to you.
I'm sorry.
Jupiter, sweetheart.
So, what I'm saying is, right, that with Sarah, because it's mindset now, with the Muslim community, the extreme Muslim community where we have the problems, it's to do with the fact that they see their culture as being in clashing with ours because it's so strict. Okay. Now, on the far right, we have got some people that are Christians that want to take us back to the Old Testament. Okay. We've got one group like that, and they align with the Islamists in saying, yeah, you know, if we were to go back, they're the kind of people who say they want the women in the kitchen, etc., etc., etc. However, when it comes to the race, the actual case of race, the mindset is the victimhood mentality, okay, that black community leaders and white community leaders, such as people like Lister, like Sarah now, are doing to keep the others who are not really understanding what's going on oppressed and enslaved of the mind. It's about the mindset.
Yeah.
And it's we have to fight, not the fact of the skin colour. The answer is not the extreme right chucking out every single person of colour. The answer is about making people understand and changing the mindsets, and that is completely doable.
Yeah. And even like Bob the Builder, when he was talking about the church, and I know that the church, it should be separate from the state, but the truth is, like the church, even the Catholic and the Protestant, have all had a changed mindset, haven't they? And that's why a lot of people have come away from them.
Yeah.
Look at the what do they call him? The Archbishop of Canterbury. Look at the shit that he comes out with.
I can't stand. I can't stand.
And it's the same with the Pope. People are coming away because they're talking totally different to what the church foundation was always. The values were always like. So it is an important. Even though I'm not a church goer or a Christian or anything like that. Bob the Builder had a good point to put there, because the church is responsible a lot for the mindsets of the people as well. And the mindsets is Marxist again. Jupiter knows because it's coming from the Jesuits. We know where it's coming from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it all right? Is it
Wendy, I just came on to speak to you. You know that black guy was on the mic saying he was a black patriot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the guy who's going to come over to your show.
Oh, is it? Oh right. Oh well, yeah. I look forward to that. Easy.
Right. I'm sure he'll do one with you, Jupiter, as well, because I think he deserves to have his voice put out there. To be honest with you,
definitely. Just let me know when.
Yeah. I just can't pronounce his name. But I thought Tommy done really. I was listening on the way because I went on what I've up in London watching the football, but I was pissed off I left early. But I was listening to the Tommy thing, and I thought he done pretty well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And he did make me laugh what he said about the church.
Yeah, weak.
Yeah. So I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people in that crowd sort of agreed with Tommy a bit,
Yeah, they did. Did you hear the round of applause that Tommy got?
Yeah, I did, love. Yeah.
For some of the black people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw Big Bro clapping. I think actually. So, I don't know where Zara's going there. He's really.
I don't care. He's going to a zoo.
He shot himself in the foot.
Yeah, he wants to go and sit next to his statues of Mugabe and Idi Amin.
Unbelievable. That guy at the end, it'd be great, Jupiter or Wendy, if you could get him on. Yeah.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Can I have 5 minutes of your time, please?
Oh, for God's sake.
What is it? Yeah.
Okay, I've not been online for a few weeks. I've been away, but I watched your show yesterday. Yeah, just a few comments, if it's possible, that I could like to have a point out on, if that's okay. Firstly, you said that I threatened your 4-year-old autistic granddaughter. Now, I've got 2 analysts next to me now who are willing to share the videos and the comments that I never. Your granddaughter is 5. You told me.
Who have you got next to you now?
I've got 2 IT analysts who are willing to share with you the videos and the comments.
Yeah, I don't need them. I don't need them. What's your next comment? What's your next comment, Brian? No, I haven't got time. Move on.
You told me. You told me that I threatened your 4-year-old autistic.
Move on from that. Move on from that. What's next?
Okay. Well, okay, then you asked me.
I'm not willing to discuss my granddaughter with anyone.
No,
so
okay.
Move on.
You then asked me for an EHCP advice to get an EHC plan for your child, for your granddaughter, which is autism and educational healthcare
Not willing
plan.
to discuss my granddaughter. End of story.
But you did yesterday. But you did yesterday.
No, I'm not willing to discuss
let's
her.
move on from that. Okay, let's move on from that. You then said that I threatened that your children. I never have. I've got the recordings here. Like you're an educated woman, Wendy. I know you are. And
also, in your long messages, you didn't have subliminal threats towards my family in there.
Never, ever.
We've been over this 90,000 times, Brian.
I've seen it. She did a whole
I'm talking to Wendy, Jupiter. Please stay out of this, Michaela. I'm talking to Wendy. I just want to clear up a few things because when I listen to...
What's your problem, Brian? It's done. It's dusted.
No,
gone.
Like being called. I don't like being called, Wendy. Yeah, that I'm threatening children. You asked me for help.
Go
with your
to Rio, then
No,
yeah,
listen,
because these are
Wendy,
one who put the video up
did
where
you
you're
not,
there. You're
Wendy,
there.
did you or did you
Yeah,
not ask me for
slagging me
help?
off, telling lies. Yeah, and
Wendy.
now you've been threatening other people's children. What a
No,
shot!
no. I had a person last night text me, which I got
What
all
is
the
it with
texts,
you?
which I
Why do you keep
happily sent
threatening
you.
children? Why?
No, 30. What? A child, 37 years old.
What?
His child's 37 years old. He said he was going to put my children's pictures up there on internet and put my wife on Pornhub. That is another issue. I'm asking, forget him. He's not important. He's not important. I'm asking you, Wendy.
Well, he
Yesterday, you
sounded
got,
pretty upset when he come on here.
yeah, but forget him. Plisco, Alan, he's not important to me. I'm asking you. You made allegations that I threatened your 4-year-old, which you told me she was 5.
You
Yeah.
said
the whole difference.
You
didn't
said because my daughter is a single parent and you
Correct.
worry for her safety, you can
Correct.
get her tuck away from my fucking daughter. Do
No, I
not
didn't say
deny
that.
that you said that.
Can you show that, Wendy? Because I can show what our conversation, just like you record everything.
Yeah. What about the threat with money?
No, Wendy, we're being honest. Wendy, please be honest with me. Yeah, we record everything, me and you. Yeah, agreed.
What?
Wendy, we record. Me and you record everything. You know this, and I know this.
I
Yeah?
haven't got nothing to hide.
You said I threatened your 4-year-old daughter, your
I've
granddaughter.
just told you what you said.
Can you prove? I can prove it. I've got 2 IT analysis sitting right now, and I'll put it
Why
out
do you
there.
need
Our
an IT
conversation, which was 12 minutes and 36 seconds long, and you were asking me for help for an EHCP plan on your
You seem
granddaughter
to
who's
have,
autistic,
you
and you
seem to
also you've got a
fucking well
12-year-old
have a thing about threatening children.
Sorry? I'm sorry?
So, is that what you said?
When was
So,
you was in the mental asylum when you met Brian Harvey? What months was it again? You said.
I never knew him, Jim. Don't start. I'm talking to Wendy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm asking you,
God.
Wendy. I'm being honest with you, Wendy. I'm trying to be straight with you. Yeah, you came at me and asked me to help with an EHC plan with autism to get a diagnosis for your granddaughter.
yeah, can you just talk to Jupiter?
I'll show this
talk
live.
to Jupiter for a second, yeah? Because I've
Go
just
on,
got to
Jupiter.
go and have a word with my daughter.
Michaela?
Mrs. Oniovosa.
Go on, Michaela. I'm listening.
Mrs. Oniovosa.
Right. You said online yesterday, Michaela, that I work for the Home Office. No, I do not. All I said to you is that Hector has not took the UK British citizen test.
Which is a lie.
And you said I work for the Home Office. I do not work for the Home Office.
You told us that you worked for the Croydon Home Office, and that's
no,
how
I didn't. No. Do you want me to show you? And I will put it out there now. Because I've got 2 items. I said to you, in South Croydon, Hector has never took the test.
Home Office because my husband is perfectly legal. You are actually lying and slandering him.
And it is perfectly legal until the 1st of January.
He is perfectly legal. 100% legal.
The 1st of January, the rules changed. The law has changed where you have to take the UK citizen test.
You fucking idiot.
You have to get abusive, Michaela. I'm talking to you straight. On the 1st of January, by the 1st of January, any non-immigration people have to take the UK British citizen test who are non-EU immigrants.
He's already taken it.
No, he hasn't. Stop lying.
I am not lying. Why would I need to lie?
Okay, what's his serial number for the UK test?
Jupiter, don't entertain it. Don't entertain it. He's trying to wind you up.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi,
just go
hi,
for it. If that's what you
hi, love.
think, go for him.
You call me. You said I work for the Home Office, Michaela. I
You
don't.
said that you worked for Croydon, mate.
No, I didn't. No, I don't. I said to you, the Home Office with immigration, where you take the UK British citizen test, is in Croydon, which
don't
it
know
is.
what you're
It's not in
talking about.
SW1.
You think there's only
Can I
one in
just
the
make a quick
you
point?
fucking arsehole?
Sorry?
You think there's only one in the whole of the country?
No, but you live in Elton, so
Well, then
you're
what?
reliable to
Fucking what?
South Croydon.
So fucking what? What has that got to do with anything?
Because I'm telling you the truth.
You ain't telling me the truth. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You've come on here threatening Wendy with 2 fucking alleged IT assistants as if they're fucking CID.
Who's threatening? Who's made a threat? Who's made a threat,
Hello,
Michaela?
Brian.
You're a
Hello,
fat
Make a
Brian.
quick point.
Hello,
Who has made a threat?
Hi,
What?
Brian, you
threat
cunt.
has I
How you
made?
doing? How you doing,
Can I make
Brian?
a quick point?
How you
Who's
doing,
made a threat,
Brian?
Michaela?
Are you threatening my friends?
Who's made a threat, Michaela?
Shut your fucking mouth, cunt. Are you threatening my friends?
Who's made a threat, Michaela?
I'm fucking telling you now, Wenko. I will fucking have you. Are you threatening my
Oh,
fucking
God.
friends? Come
Good
on, Mr.
evening.
Hardman. Come on, Mr. Hardman. You reckon you know someone at the Brickies? You know the landlady? Come on, cunt. Fancy it, cunt.
Can I just make a
Michaela,
quick point?
you know
Shut your
what I'm
fucking
talking
mouth and
about.
have a bit more fucking respect then. You with me?
And this is why Wendy's
Shut
jumped
your
off,
fucking
because she
mouth
knows I'm telling
now.
the truth.
Shut
She
your
knows
fucking
I'm telling the
mouth.
truth.
Shut
I've
your
got 70
fucking
recordings.
greasy
Fantasist.
fucking ugly
Everybody
mouth.
knows it.
I'll see that £2 in your pocket. I'll make you fucking choke on it, you cunt.
£2? I'll do that in a night, you fucking muppet.
I'll fucking rub it. I'll take it out of your
You
pocket.
northern
I'll
monkey.
take it out of your pocket and stick it down your fucking throat, you cunt.
7. I didn't get a chance.
That's all right.
Ugh.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
If I've got proof
Go on, anyway.
that
I want me £2 back.
He's run
Harold's been
away.
grassing people in. He sent me
Brian,
a screenshot of him making
Brian, Mr.
reports
Hardman,
of
Mr.
malicious
Security Man,
communications.
Mr. Security Man, Mr. I know every cunt. Come
Yeah.
on, Brian, where are you now?
Fucking 2 IT
Fucking
fucking.
hell. I'm on.
Listen.
Listen, mate. I'm on your number on the fucking internet. Come on, you know everything, don't you? Don't you,
Fucking
mate?
threatening Wendy's granddaughter. Threatening this
Fucking right. What's he? Where does this cunt live?
saying he's going to cut.
St Mary's Road, St Mary's Road, Great Bentley.
St Mary's Road, Great.
Brian L, you know I'm on to you.
Let me look that up. I'm just going to Google that because we might have to have a little script and have a word with it. Brian might have a little. Brian, you fucking wanko. You might have
The reason why he's been playing the fucking gangster is because he's moved into the town, the village where Mickey Steele fucking used to live.
Who's Mickey Steele?
One of the ones who apparently shot the Rettendon free.
Oh, right. Okay.
Brian Hill's moved to his village, haven't you, Brian?
Yeah, he was a top gangster in the underworld, Nicky Steele. Yeah.
Because up until then, you was a nobody, wasn't you, Brian Earl?
You got to play gangsters.
So you've moved into his village.
The thing is, though, Brian, you can't play gangster. It's like playing boxing.
Well, he can't play gangster with me because everyone knows my fucking name and address anyway.
Exactly, Jupiter. Wouldn't worry about
fucking
that.
around. Don't you ever come on the internet again, you fat little cunt, right? And threaten my friend and fucking her daughter. Or I will make it my fucking business. I swear down, I will make it my fucking business now that I know where you are.
He's been communicating with facts and deadfall.
Cunts, right.
The three of them.
They're not them cunts.
Facts haven't come in since he started with me, the fucking idiot.
Twats. Doing that to fucking women online.
Facts was sent a PDF with apparently my signature on it saying I'm a grass. So he was told for 3 nights, fucking show it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Share it.
Don't forget,
he got it from Brian Hull. He got it from Brian Hull.
All right, Oof, if you're a grass, right, and you've grassed all these people up, how come you can come on the internet and still speak?
Seven. We haven't got to go into that fucking.
You know what I mean?
Everyone knows what work I do.
What I'm saying is,
I can.
he's spreading lies because he hasn't got fuck all else to do. He's a little fucking grass himself. He's the grass, not you.
Seven.
He's the fucking cunt.
Let me speak for 2 minutes.
I tell you what, I wish he would go and fucking I hope
Right,
he goes.
I'll go on mute. I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to go on mute and I'm going to go on mute and I'm just going to wait for that fucking cunt to come back, see if he's got any bollocks.
Hoof, yesterday he contacted me.
Who did?
And he's Hurl. He sent me a picture of him reporting people for malicious communications.
Well, he's allowed to do that. He's allowed to do that, but he'll be laughed at.
Yeah. But he's the one running about grassing and people.
But the police already know. The police already know about him. All right.
I don't know who he thinks he is, poking his nose into everybody's business and going around telling fucking lies.
Yeah,
exactly. Jupiter, listen, I'm giving you this because of what he done to you tonight, right? Mary's Road, Great Bentley, Tendering, Essex, all right?
Thank you.
And I can even send you a picture of his registration on his car.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oi, and cunt, Brian, I know you're listening, you cunt. Don't you ever do that to women online again, you cunt.
This is how good he is at researching people. For 3 weeks, he thought I was somebody called Chrissy Morris. He knows fuck all about the internet.
Yeah, he totally got that wrong, didn't he, Hoof?
Don't you ever do that again, cunt face.
It's everything wrong. It's everything wrong.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I hope he goes to the Home Office and fucking phones them up and then gets a bollocking for wasting their time.
Who does he think he is to come on here and start talking about my granddaughter? Fuck off.
Yeah. He's got the ump because Brian Harvey came in here, had a decent conversation, and Brian Harvey told him to fucking jog on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see Chantel was lurking about in the chats yesterday night.
Oh, was she?
Under her real name. Yeah.
You can't blame Harvey for telling him to jog on. The man's a fantasist.
Well, if he would have phoned me, that's exactly what I would have told him.
Got 2 IT experts.
Yeah, I've got 2 IT experts sat here waiting.
They might get their staplers out and a fucking few bits of electrodes.
You know what I mean? For what exactly?
I don't know.
Idiot.
Probably his mum and his wife again. Don't you remember when fucking threatened me with your old mum? Do you remember that?
See, I think Brian. The story is. Listen. The story is.
Jupiter, your mic's gone really low, love.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
What's going on tonight?
No, she was just hiding. It's a bit like Brian Earl, bit hiding. It's all right.
That's funny because he came on here demanding time and then demanding.
Right, listen. Who the fuck does he think he is, the cunt?
Yeah.
He's been getting supposed information off of Deadfall, right? I'm supposed to have grassed people up for growing weed. 7. Who's the person that grassed somebody up for growing weed? The video was played the other night. On the Wasp channel.
Sean,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean came on here.
I don't deal with grasses. I don't deal with grasses. See where I come from? People who are grassing, they go missing.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You don't shit on your own doorstep. And Brian Earl, if you ever shit on my doorstep again, are you speaking to Wendy or Dupes like that, I'll fucking string you up by you fucking bald bollocks, you cunt. Promise. Try me, Brian. Try me. Just try it. I'll fucking leave you screaming like a fucking baboon with piles. You fucking cunt. Don't you ever come on here. Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever do that again to my friends again, especially female ones. Little cunt.
Yeah, he's well, I don't know what to say.
Message. Don't even private message her either. I'm warning you now. You're listening to me. Don't even private message her. None of them. Stay away.
Fucking come demanding this, demanding that. I've got IT specialist.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? He told me one night, right? Because I told him my address. By the way, Brian, it's 19 Freya Grove, also Salford 5, right? That's where I live, and that's how you knew. Oh yeah, fucking knew. I know landed in Ricky. Oh fuck! Say truth, huh? Are you with me? Fucking wanker, right? All he's done is looked it up on fucking Google. I don't even know the landlady because I don't go in it. I know one of my family friends works behind the bar there. He's like, oh yeah, I know that. When's the last time you were in the Brickies? How do you know her? You're a lying cunt, so fuck off. You dreamer before I drill you, you cunt.
He does a good impression, old Squire, doesn't he?
We're all right. I've got two grand. You know that fella? He's a fucking gross. He's a fucking gross. You know what? I said that on YouTube.
The names he dropped in the phone calls I had with him, like, proves he was an idiot. But apparently he was dropping names of people in the ICF or something.
Yeah, not like that, innit?
And he'd never heard of Cass Pennant.
No, dickhead. Brian, where art thou? Come on, are you part of the People's Judean Front or the People's Front of Judea, Brian?
People's Front of Judea.
Brian, where art thou, Brian?
Do you remember when Harvey done that follow-up video when he said about how to stay away? He said, I have nothing but problems with Brian's.
You know what, Brian?
Too many Brians.
You know what? The weird thing is, right? You know, I can get a bit fucking. I can like pick a target and I get a bit psycho too, you know. But I think I'm worse than you. But I've learned how to control it. I can get really fucking psycho, proper, mate. Proper. But you know, it's one of them, innit?
Can you tell by that laugh?
Ryan, let's go psycho. Go psycho on me. You got me address. Let's go to the Brickies and have a pint. And I'll tell you what, you'd be eating the fucking pint pot, you cunt.
We was in a hang earlier, right? But Seven wanted to do a pop quiz. So I said, I'm off for a little while, right? All of a sudden I get a message come through. Hurl's in Wendy's. So I've come back on. Then I've seen Seven come on. And then he actually jumped in before I got in. That's how quick we work, Brian.
All people have to do, mate. See, it's like that all my life, Brian. If good people need help, all they need is a call or a, you know, word gets round pretty fucking quick.
You know the snail in the Magic Roundabout? Was that called Brian?
Yeah.
Brian. Oh, it's Brian. Hello, it's Brian the snail. It's Brian the snail. He carries his house on his back. Yeah, slimy bastard. Anyway, slimy bastard, if you got anything to say for yourself.
He's in the outside chat, the fucking idiot.
You muppet is Billy Gardner, Andy
Get
out of it, you fucking idiot. Kiss my fucking ass, you fucking ponce. Get out of it, you
Brian, can you only have 6?
You fucking
Pardon, easy.
Come on,
can you only have 6 on the panel?
Come on,
no.
Wendy,
10.
Wendy, Dukes, just give him a fucking slap now in the side chat. Come on. Off him out.
Brian, they ain't IT analysts, they're ET analysts.
He doesn't need any analysts. I know the truth. So
He needs a fucking psycho
No,
analyst.
he's saying that, so he's trying to hint that he's getting people's IP addresses. He's an idiot.
Brian, I want a pint in the Bwickies. Come for a pint in the Bwickies, because you know the landlady, don't you? You lying cunt. Come on. Come for a pint in the Bwickies at Ware Grove.
So, Brian, do you know people in the ice cream firm?
Come to my fucking manor, you can. Come my fucking manor, you can. Come on, you fucking shitbag.
Mm.
Come on, you know everyone, you know everywhere, you know everything, don't you?
Yeah, he was just telling Jupiter that sorry, Hector's visa or whatever, I don't know, is up in January.
January, sick of tired, sick of hanging to me. You made me sad with your
That's his level of getting information. He has to ask you for serial numbers.
Brian, I won't do anything to you. It's on the internet. Come back in the hangout and let's have a little chat and I'll straighten this out. Come on. Come on, don't be shy. I'm only here, mate. I'm not going to bite you. Not yet, anyway. Brian, come back in the hangout and apologize. Do the gentleman thing. Apologize. Do the gentleman thing and apologize to the ladies, please. Apologize to Jupes and Wenda, please. I'm asking you that as a gentleman, you know, a gentleman to gentleman. So if you're going to be a gentleman, I think you should do that. If not, well, I'll think about it.
Well, no, he won't be getting on here again. That's it.
Well, you have to give him his chance. Everyone needs a chance, and you know, you know, just to know where they stand. That's all.
He knows where he's had. I'm refusing to talk about my family with that man.
Shit! Right. Sorry, Wenda. I'm going to give it 19. Oh, that's the same number as my house. That Brian 19. I'm going to give it 20 likes. Look, we've got 20 likes now. Look. Bing. 21 now. Woo! Oh yeah, that's next door but one. That.
Oh God.
See, only fools argue with fools, so don't even argue with him.
No.
Right, what should we do then?
Laugh at him.
He reckons he's been away for 5 weeks. So.
Yeah, you know, I don't remember it.
Oh,
Sure, you haven't had a little bit of a burnout, and you've had to the NHS got involved.
Been on a cruise with Vicky Steele, isn't he?
He got a bit giddy, but what you got to remember, Brian, that people like me, Oof, and a few others are only a ding dong away. So don't you ever do that again to Wendy or Jupes ever again. You can't.
The more information you put out there, Brian, about people, the more I'm going to put out about you, okay? As that son.
Shouldn't think he likes that at all.
We can go proper psycho on you, mate. Proper psycho on you.
I see fucking Rowan played the.
We can get a bit mental, but we're nice people, really.
Put one of the videos up the other day of the chat with Brian Hurl. It's funny.
Yeah, that was the one I was reviewing the other night, and that's why he came on here to complain and say I'd been lying, and he wanted to talk about my granddaughter, and I said no, I'm not talking about her.
Hang on a minute. Was he not one of the ones that said never bring children or family into it?
Yeah.
So he's doing exactly what he's not supposed to do.
Yeah, basically.
No.
See, we've had someone has had to split up with their partner or girlfriend because there's been complaints to social services about this person being around children, right? We've had another individual who, if they had a 13-year-old daughter, would accommodate her 16-year-old boyfriend so they could shag, and he would stand at the door for a couple of hours so it was a safe environment for them.
Oh,
What?
God.
And now Brian Hurl
This is
asked you
facts.
about
Now,
your
might-
grandchildren.
You might as well tell them it's facts.
Facts of Deadfall. Yeah,
Oh,
Deadfall.
yes. Yeah, I heard facts say that.
And now you've got fucking Hurl asking about people's grandchildren. What the fuck's going on with the three of them?
You listen. You go near any of them or even mention them again, you're in trouble, Brian.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, if he comes on again, Wendy, I'm not even.
Oh,
talking.
I'm not letting him on. He's not getting on here ever again.
No.
That's it.
He has to have the chance to apologise, I believe. So, Brian, the only chance that you could, if you want to come on again, the words that you should be saying.
If you want redemption,
you should be apologetic. Don't you ever do that again, because you're on about families and stuff like that. Hang on, what's he put? St Mary's Road in Angus Green is my uncle's dress, you muppet. Mickey Steele.
come in and talk about it, Brian.
Dickhead, he's my uncle. Step to me, right? What do you mean, step to you? What does that mean? What does it mean, step to you? You come in the hangout and have words now. Come in the hangout and have words. No one's going to hurt you. No one's going to step to you in a fuck on the internet, are they? You're not going to get
Brian, you're trying to sound like a bad man. You're a fucking fool. You're the court jester.
Oh, don't forget you're a mug as well, Ethan. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to get on with the rest of the show.
Oh, sorry, Wendy.
No, that's all right, Brian. No, that's all right, love.
Do crack on, darling.
Yes. Oh, jolly good. Jolly good. Yeah, so what I thought I'd do was share my screen, obviously, and take a look at yes.
I was going to say that Sips Clips, didn't he say that he's going to expose him anyway tonight or tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't watch
Sips Clips is another one. He's been fucking photographing children at the beach.
Yes.
Oh, or was it Pisco?
I shit you not. He's another one that we've got in the pipeline. Trust us.
Who was the bloke that came on here, Wendy?
What's his name? It's Clisco or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pisco says he's going to expose him tonight.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. He knows.
Clisco came in our hangout and he said about what's going on at the beach. Well, I've seen two videos in the past where Sips Clips was on like a hill, a grass hill, and he was like videoing children, like sneakily.
Oh yeah.
And there was another occasion, I think he was at a picnic place. So this place was flat or a park, and he was doing the same. And then Plisco said that he was caught doing it at a beach the other day.
Oh,
because
they're fucking sick.
Why would a lad who's probably in his mid-30s take a phone to a fucking water park, sit there, and start filming? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. It's not natural. Why would you do it? Why?
Well, there's somebody in Bulgaria in that first week when they was there. They went to a place and had a drink.
All right,
there was a racism thing that came up.
Come in, mate. Hey, chock full of nuts. Come in, mate. Tell us.
And he started filming children to prove that they weren't pure white. They was like Greek or something, but they were children.
Who was in Bulgaria?
Who do you think's in Bulgaria?
Oh, him.
Yeah. Sitting at a bar, having drinks, and he filmed a car that pulled up. There was a child in the back, and he was filming like from where he's sitting to the window. And then a child came into the bar area, and he started filming them to prove that Bulgarians are not pure white. They're like Mediterranean.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's all been logged. The Wasp is going to do a big thing about him.
Do you not see where he actually he played the race card? Said someone called him a or something.
Yeah.
Black idiot. How about today's one? Have you seen that?
Why
you
would
can win a holiday.
Right, listen. Why would a grown man on their own go to a beach where there's families and people and things like that about filming?
Today, become a member.
Why?
Become a member, and you might be able to win a holiday to the
Oh yeah,
Bulgaria.
did you know that, Jupiter? You can become a member again.
Are you
I'm not-
bronze?
I've never
Are
been a
you
member.
bronze?
I've never
Hey, Jeeps, are you
Sorry.
bronze? Are you like? Oh no. No, join the crew. You better no. Hang on a minute. It's a bit racist. This. So he's got gold,
Hello.
silver, and bronze. I want to be a black member, and I'll take an E.
The internet's going mad.
Yeah.
The internet is getting more and more mad.
What's up, Seven?
Who's that?
Plisco.
Glasgow.
Hi, Plisco. Yeah, hiya, mate. Yeah, we're just talking about kits and stuff like that. And so, sorry. So if you want to say anything, sorry, Wendy, I'm taking over a bit. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, that's all right.
Well, go on. Sorry. Go on, Plisco.
What do you want to know?
Right. What your opinions are about, these fucking people like Kips and stuff who fucking wander around the place. Because it's odd behaviour, isn't it?
The first time I seen Kip's clips, he was in his house and he's videoing a play park. Right. And he stays high flats and he's looking down, videoing it, right? And he turns the camera around, starts smiling and stuff. The next video I seen, he's sitting on the beach, looking over at the jetty. And he keeps looking over, smiling and looking at the camera, smiling. Then all of a sudden he turns around and says, they're all getting naked or something like that. I've not seen it in ages, but it was something like naked. And
horrible.
A bit later,
blood's running
he
cold.
turns around and says, the females or something are getting naked or something. But he did say they were skinny dipping. I've got audio of him a few months later admitting they were naked and he was watching them, and he says that's why I'm being called a paedophile, and I've still got that on audio. And more has been posted of him up at Loch Lomond, turning his camera around to 2 14-year-old girls getting a picture taken and saying, "Oh, hot totty," or two hotties or something. He said.
Sorry, go on.
Then you've got he's fidgeting with his nuts and stuff, filming himself, looking actually down his shorts. When there's like 7 and I think it was a kid. I think must have been about 7 standing in front of him, with people standing in the water and stuff.
See, I don't know if Sips is watching this, but Sips' main enemy used to come in our hangouts for about 2 years. Fizz Bomb.
I think. See, I don't know if he's know a guy called Matt Bell.
No.
I'm almost 100% sure I've seen him in Matt Bell's chat rooms before. Matt Bell's was convicted of instructing child abuse in the Philippines. He was arrested. He's from Scotland, and he was charged with.
That's not Fizz Bomb.
I don't know, but
No,
Matt Bell is called child abuse.
We know Fizz Bomb's real name.
Yeah, we know him. We know where he works and everything. We know everything about him.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
It ain't Fizz Bomb. Swear down, it ain't. It ain't, because we know. Even the Wasp knows.
Well, not the Wasp. Fizz Bomb and the Lovable Troll, they terrorise Sips clips. He's closing his channels down fucking left, right and centre.
Yeah, right.
Funny. What fucking Will's just done, opening all these channels, that's what Sips Clips had to do, because he didn't know where it was coming from.
Well, anyway, I'm in the middle of trying to get his entire channels stripped off him. And with Brian Hurrell.
Channel, It's actually the better idea is actually stop the person from doing it. I think that's the best thing, because that's what we need to do. These fuckers walking around doing that. No.
Yeah.
So, what do we do when
Tom Cahill about to expose you all?
Hmm?
Enough said. I think enough said's fucking dead fool. It might be Hurl.
Deadpool came on here and was disgusting.
Again? Oh,
And
right.
then, yeah.
Do you want his phone number?
No, I'm not that interested in him. Nah.
he refuses, in fact, refuses to answer the phone there. They know it's us.
Oh, right. No, I don't want nothing to do with him.
We find out everything, right? We find out everything.
No, I'd rather not have to deal with the likes of him.
What we do, Wendy, you know us, like, we're not Charles. We deal with wrong uns.
Yeah, I know.
We don't like wrong uns.
What was he saying, Wendy?
Which one?
Deadpool.
He said, what was it? He was on about Tommy. Yeah, and the Tommy was this and that. And I said, shut up, be quiet till the end of the video. And he goes, whoa, what's wrong with you? Have you not put your Tampax in tonight?
Get him mouthy, any.
Yeah, so I just kicked him straight out. I don't have that sort of talk.
No, you wouldn't.
There's got to be a video made for Brian.
That's like baby talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got no idea how to have an argument. And it's childish insults.
Yeah.
Sorry, but say things like that's awful. That's horrible. So horrible people get dealt with in a horrible way sometimes, don't they? So, fair enough.
Right, I'm going to get on with my Kriss
yeah, sorry.
video. So it's all right.
I'm going to get going as well. But if anybody needs Blanca's Pornhub website, just give us a shout.
No, you're all right. We don't need it. Not interested.
We'll give that one a miss, mate. Thanks very much, Briscoe.
Right, see you later.
See you later.
All the best.
Don't need it, mate. Don't need it.
No. So this is about Chris Donald.
Right.
Oh yeah, poor Chris Donald.
Yeah. And I found it very disturbing what happened to this young man.
Oh God, I know.
And I found it more disturbing that it's never spoken about. Never.
Do you know only one paper put a little column in it?
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
What happened? Where is this? What happened?
It's in Scotland. Yeah.
When?
2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is horrendous, Seven. This is horrendous. Listen to this.
I've got right, all news to me, mate. All right, I'll listen.
The judge told him he was not fit to be free in a civilized society. His brother Zishan Shahid was the driver of the car used in the abduction and had destroyed evidence of the crime.
It's as big as it'll go.
Mohammed Faisal Mushtaq also played a significant role in what the judge called a savage and barbaric murder.
All right, okay.
From the court, their victims' mother and sister watched as the killers, all with a string of previous convictions for violent assaults, were driven away to begin their sentences. Chris Donald was 15 when he was murdered, a wholly innocent boy, said the judge, selected because he was white. His mother and sister broke down and shouted abuse as the verdicts were returned, but afterwards spoke of their relief that his killers had been convicted.
We would like to offer our sincere appreciation for the dedication that has been shown by Detective Superintendent Ellie Mackenzie and all of the officers who worked on the inquiry into the hellish murder of my son Chris. Justice has been done. Thank you. It is over.
Their ordeal began 2 years ago in Glasgow, where a small shrine marks the place where Chris Donald was abducted. Chris Donald was walking with a friend along this street when he was approached by an Asian man. A short while later, an argument broke out and then a fight. Then very quickly after that, a silver Mercedes appeared from out of nowhere, drew up alongside the curb, and Kriss Donald, despite his best efforts, was bundled inside the vehicle, and the car sped off. The teenager spent 4 hours pinned down in the back of the car while Shahid and his accomplices searched for a place to kill him. They chose a deserted pathway by the River Clyde, where they stabbed him repeatedly, set him alight, and left him to die. Jamie Wallace was with Kriss when he was ambushed.
We started fighting back, trying to get near the Mercedes where he was grabbing Kriss, trying to grab him into the car. And the Asians came out and tried to surround it, so I couldn't get near it. And I was trying to turn my back to see what was happening. I was trying to save my own life and trying to save his life at the same time.
In an effort to escape justice, the killers fled to Pakistan, but they were arrested by the authorities there and then put on a plane back to Britain. Today, a relieved Angela Donald saw the racist gang responsible for her son's murder given long jail sentences. Justice, said the judge, for a premeditated and cold-blooded execution. Andrew Castle, BBC News, Edinburgh.
Every week, Jihad Watch with Robert Spencer, and people seem to not enjoy, that's the wrong word, but appreciate that I have this segment each week. And for those of you who say, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, well, yeah, we have to do this. What is the point? I mean, I can bore you with an interview with some bubble-headed celebrity, or who was on Survivor or Big Brother. Does that exist? I don't know. We need to know what is going on in the world. And before we introduce Robert Spencer, let me just read something to you. Now, I should warn you, this is very graphic stuff. And it's horrible, actually, because it concerns a 15-year-old. I've got a 15-year-old daughter. We have 4 children. The youngest is 15. Kriss Donald, he was just walking along the street in Scotland, in Glasgow, and he was kidnapped by, and let's be quite specific, a Muslim gang, 3 men. He screamed, "Why me? Me, I'm only 15. They then murdered him, but they tortured him. They repeatedly tortured him. They stabbed him 13 times. They then set him on fire while he's still alive. There are other reports that claim that he was castrated. We're not sure of that. He was certainly repeatedly tortured. When his body was found, the person who found it thought it was the body of a carcass of an animal for not being Muslim. Now, eventually, the killers were brought to justice. And the reason we're talking about this now, because this happened back in 2004, was with the man who led this gang, who showed no contrition or apology. Imran Baldi Shahid. There was an attempt to kill him last night in the gym. He's a very big guy, a lot of weight training and so on, and has some forces around him. They live in shame in the prison. He had special privileges. And there was an attempt to kill him. And it failed. But he's in hospital, getting the best of medical attention in the British system. This is probably the most revolting and intense of the attacks that have taken place, but it is by no means unique. Robert Spencer joins us now by Skype. We can't tell you where he is. That's always a way, because other people will try to kill him. Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Michael.
I mean, this is horribly disturbing. This young man, his parents will never see him grow up. This has to be emphasized. This wasn't about race, which would be absolutely wrong, of course, but it wasn't about black and white. This was a Muslim gang who wanted to kidnap and murder a non-Muslim. Can we please state this quite clearly?
Well, we can, and we do, and we have to, because it's true. But of course, most of the mainstream media, when they reported on this incident way back when it first happened, and now when they're reporting on the attack on Imran Shahid, have characterized it as a racial incident. And it most certainly is not. I mean, there are many attacks like this, and they're increasing in frequency all around Europe. I can give you, for example, Ilhan Halimi, who was brutally tortured over a period of weeks by a Muslim gang in Paris. And they had kidnapped and tortured him because he was Jewish. And they even called up his family and recited verses from the Quran to them while they were torturing this people and torturing Ilhan Halimi, that is, with unimaginable brutality.
Yeah.
And clearly situating their actions in the fact that they were Muslims and he was a Jew.
Yeah.
And Chris Donald, it's the same thing. He was not a Muslim. They were Muslims, and these kinds of attacks, increasing in frequency, are gestures of supremacism, of intimidation, of a signal to the non-Muslim community that they are not to be crossed in any way. And if they are, this is the kind of thing that will happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, we always say this. We don't have to, but some people get very angry if we don't. This is not to say that the majority of Muslims act like this. Of course they don't. The MP in the area in Glasgow, I think we've got a photograph of him now. He's a Muslim man, a very, very moderate Muslim. Can we see a picture of him, please? There he is. Now, I mean, this man, Mohammed Sawa, an MP, he worked very hard to make sure that the men who committed this terrible murder were brought to justice. A couple of them have fled the country. But what we have to say is, when he did this, he was then threatened within the Islamic community in Glasgow, and other Muslims attacked him and said he was a traitor.
Yes, doesn't surprise me in the least, because it's a very deeply ingrained Islamic principle that one never takes sides with the kuffar, the unbelievers, against the Muslims. Never, under any circumstances. And so even if you have an action like this, of this horror that is distasteful to you, you don't speak out, because it was Muslims who did it. And, I've heard so many stories about this. I'm acquainted with an American who converted to Islam to marry a Muslim woman, and he didn't know anything about Islam. He just was doing it for the marriage. Mm-hmm. But he became active in the Malaysian Muslim community because his wife was Malaysian. Yep. in Florida. And what happened was, after 9/11, they were having a meeting at the mosque, and he thought that they would be all upset and would be condemning what happened on 9/11, but they were all talking about how they had to hang together, and never a word of condemnation of the hijackings. Now, even if there had been somebody there, in addition to the gentleman who was telling me this story, who had disapproved of the hijacking and the mass murder that happened on that day in the name of jihad and Islam, he would have been intimidated into silence, because the community was determined to close ranks and to protect the Muslims.
Mm-hmm. Just very briefly, one more subject. I wanted to spend some time on that because it is so horrific. But there is an allegation the next head of the CIA will be a man who converted to Islam in Saudi Arabia. Is this true?
Well, I don't know if it's true directly, but I know that the source of it is a former FBI agent, John Guandolo, who's a good friend and who I believe to be an unimpeachable source. And certainly it would make sense of John Brennan's actions in carrying water for the Muslim Brotherhood program of whitewashing Islam and jihad and trying to distance the actions of Islamic jihadis from the very thing that they point to as what motivates them and what their goals are. And so he's carrying water for the Muslim Brotherhood agenda. It would certainly make a lot more sense for him to be doing that if he is, of course, signed on and is a believer himself. Certainly, John Brennan has been an incredible enabler of Muslim Brotherhood influence at the highest levels of government. And so Mr. Guandolo's allegations don't surprise me in the least.
If it is true, and I'm not in any way claiming it is, I know that I've seen the reports, but if it is true, would it be an issue? Because you know what will happen. People will say, well, so what if he's a Muslim? He's an American, and his faith is private. It's up to him. So if it were to be proven, and I think that'll be difficult, would it prevent him from being the most powerful intelligence agent in, well, arguably the world?
No, I don't think so.
Doing your moving.
Police and thieves in the street, fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition. Police and thieves in the street, oh yeah, scaring the nation with their guns and ammunition.
Oh, look who that is.
Guys, on the
That's
day that we're doing is talking about Chris Donald.
When,
Actually today,
no,
Hang
that's
on,
not
wait a
it.
minute. Hang on, Seven.
Hello, fam. Hello, fam.
I remember him doing
the road sign behind me says Kenmure Street.
John Summit. John Summit.
15 years old, Chris Donald was kidnapped and murdered by 5 Pakistani Muslims. He was stabbed repeatedly, then burnt alive. This crime demonstrates how society has been forced to redefine racism as to no longer exclude white victims. The BBC was criticised for its no reaction to the murder, only reporting 3 times on the entire case. Thank you, fam, thank you. This is Big John, and I'm in Glasgow.
So, the BBC just reported 3 times on the whole case.
Right.
I find that disgusting when you look at the murder of the young lad.
I've never heard that story before about that person.
It's actually enough to make your stomach churn. It's hot.
Isn't it? When I was recording it.
I was actually going to leave. I thought,
no, when I was recording it today, I found it very upsetting. But because it never gets spoken about, and it doesn't, Jupiter, no one talks about it yet. No one at all. I just felt that maybe it was time just to, I don't know, get people's feelings on it, because it seems like that young man was murdered in such a way, and it's just been forgotten about.
To be honest, Wendy, it's made me feel really ill.
Yeah, but, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not having a go saying that I just
there
feel
was a guy who went on Newsnight. He left the Sun paper because he was fed up because no one wouldn't report on it.
But why?
Yeah.
This is a question.
I don't know.
Why would they not report on it?
This happens in America as well.
Because of the racial tension it would have caused.
It's no excuse, though, racial tension.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But that's what's been going on for years in loads of different ways.
I think that's just an excuse that they're throwing out there. Do you know what I mean? It's racial tension.
It's a fact. That's
well, actually, what do you call him? Gordon Brown sent letters round to actually say, do not report these things.
Are these stories that the press were being advised not to report on, right, was Baby P, because how it made social services look. But the press actually eventually won and did run with the story, but they tried keeping that out of the press.
My point is that was a very, very, I could imagine my own son at that age walking down the street.
Yes, I agree.
The BBC decided, we'll only report on it 3 times.
And was it only local news that done it? BBC local news?
Well, I can't remember. Such a national story.
No.
That's why I say, was it on BBC Scotland, which is a local, like...
It should have been, it should have been a national story.
Do you know what? That murder's one of the worst murders we've had.
Yeah, it's never spoken about, Easy.
Yeah, I know.
No, there's been worse murders. It was the torturing.
Andy was only 15, minding his own business, and he was murdered.
They even tried to smear him by saying he said something racist to him as well. They tried to smear his name as well.
Oh, right, okay.
But this
so
is
the
also
R word did come into it.
This is a prime example of no matter what party it is, they're all under instructions to cover things up of a racial nature.
Because of an agenda, though. Yeah.
It's Labour,
but
it's Conservative, and it's the Scottish National Party. 3 biggest parties in this country, in the United Kingdom.
It just proves that the establishment are against all the people, not just certain colours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like I hate to say it, and don't get offended, Muslims. But it seems to think the Muslim Council have a rule over the social media and everything at the moment.
Yeah.
They get to say what they say, and I'm not blaming all
Well,
Muslims.
I researched that guy, that American guy. Now he's very good. And did you hear what he said? He said what I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks. Muslims are taught not to tell on each other, no matter what. No matter what, you don't tell. That's how they're taught. You don't tell about the crime. So I'm no longer going to be apologizing to anyone because they don't tell. Even if they did know, they're not going to say they even knew anything about it, about anything.
Yeah, but it's the scripture for the extreme Muslims, Wendy, though, because there's a lot of Muslims I don't know who would tell. Yeah.
Well, for 30 years of grooming, and like 1,400 in Rotherham, there must have been a lot of Muslims there that wasn't telling things.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Because they were doing it with the fathers, the brothers, the cousins,
Yeah.
And that's weird in itself, isn't it? To actually, rape somebody with your family member. Raping's bad enough, but like doing it in front of your father or your brother or it's sick.
Some sick people about though, isn't there? You know what I mean? Like Brian. Brian's pretty sick, aren't you, Brian?
Anyway, let's change things up.
Hey,
a bit.
Brian, I'm gonna leave something in the hangout, right? Just in the YouTube side chat. One of my family members there, his name's Asa, and the boys did it. So if you know all them lot, so this is what we do with this is what we do with grasses. That's why I know who hate grass. You're a fucking cunt. You're a grass. That's what will happen to someone like you.
So when did you take a look at Nyneetha's video of us last night?
No, love, no.
I didn't see it where she was moaning about us.
Oh yeah, she's all up in her feelings because of the Yardy video I'm doing. Yeah.
Can I mention something about that? I think you've done it last night or the night before, the Tommy Robinson interview with that Sarah Garvey, whatever the person's called.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what tonight's about.
Right, but I'm not into race, politics, or anything like that, or religion, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was taking from what I was watching. In the first one that you showed, Wendy, that was where the two of them were just discussing between them.
Yeah.
Garvey looked the more comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Tommy, if you look at his feet, right, they're constantly moving.
Yeah, I did notice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I wasn't paying any attention to what was being said because it don't interest me. Right. I'm into that side of it. And when they done the questioning, it seemed to reverse. Tommy got a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's because they both knew the questions or something.
No, I'd say Tommy's more comfortable with speaking to people, no matter what the questions are, where the idiot that wants to have his land of Idi Amin and Robert Mugabe.
Yeah, but when they were just talking between themselves, that Sarah Garvey knew how to word his questions, which was going to trip. This is what I've said to you a long time ago. He needs to get more media savvy.
I think Tommy's got nervous energy anyway. He always fidgets. Even on all his thing, he fidgets. And
yeah, but when you're trying to be taken seriously, it doesn't come across good. That's why you get all the politicians.
He's got nervous tics ever since he was locked up in prison. He's had nervous tics.
Right, but that's why all these politicians, they put their fingers together in front of them and they do things with their hands.
Yeah.
But he's not a politician, is he? He's a journalist.
I like him. That's why I like Tommy. Because he makes mistakes
But
in the open.
the first half, I think Garvey came across better or looked better because he was more relaxed and weren't fidgeting. But the second half, the questions that was coming from the audience, Garvey was slipping up on it, the answers, whereas Tommy was doing better.
Are important, but not as important as honesty and truth.
Yeah, but the questions Garvey was asking was Garvey's questions. The questions that was coming from the audience were audience questions.
They were shit. All they went on about was America, rappers, FBI, nothing to do with Britain.
You didn't bring any facts.
There's one thing I will say on Sarah's thing. With the audience, it was balanced by the questioning. Yeah, it wasn't like one-sided. It was all mixture of questions, wasn't it? So that's one thing I'm going to give credit to. And I think Zara was a bit shocked when the black guy said he was a black patriot. Yeah, I think he was a bit taken back. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, two names, Idi Amin and fucking Robert Mugabe. Fucking hell.
I think that's it.
I knew he
That's
supported
enough.
him. I've chatted to him on Facebook before. I was shocked when he died.
Yeah,
Mugabe.
he's nuts as Ralph. He's coming across as nutty as Ralph.
Yeah, exactly. So
No, narcissists are very charming people. Sociopaths are very charming.
yeah,
people.
they are. Yeah.
And
Let's
they
have a
thought-
listen. Let's have a listen to some of Mugabe's victims.
I'm going to go, Wendy, because to be honest, Brian Earls pissed me off, and then just seeing that other thing is just sort of like I'm not in the mood.
Oh, why should you let him?
So I'll see you tomorrow because he's
All right, love.
I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
All right then.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Take care, love. All the best.
So let's look at some of Mugabe's victims.
Yeah, that's the place.
All that marks the grave of Gibson Petros Sox Nube is a pile of stones in the bush. He was a victim of mass killings by the Mugabe government in the early 1980s. His nephew is the only one who knows the location.
Why can you not just take the remains yourself and take them home?
No, the government couldn't allow that.
The government doesn't allow?
No, it doesn't allow that.
Why not?
No. It was only now we came open. It was you couldn't even talk about such things. The spirit, we believe, that's our belief, that the spirit is still lingering at the bush. So painful.
Africans come first in the development of Africa, not as puppets, not as beggars, but as the sovereign people.
Tributes to Mugabe fill the airwaves, but few mourn him in Matabeleland. This is where he ordered a campaign of murder against the Ndebele, who supported his main political rival. They called it Gukuruhundi, the rain that washes away the chaff.
He was working at the shop there.
Yeah.
And then
Soldiers picked up Sox Nube's uncle Gibson from his place of work and put him in a tiny room with 50 others.
And then they waited here for about 6 or 7 hours before the army trucks came to take them to Balagwe. That's how it all started. It all started here.
Everything returns to Bush in the end. But in the 1980s, Balagwe was the main camp for the feared North Korean-trained 5th Brigade, who carried out the torture, rape, and killing. They massacred more than 20,000 civilians.
Nobody knows how many people were buried in the mass grave behind me. They were murdered here by the notorious 5th Brigade, and their bodies taken to a mine shaft nearby and dropped down. Years later, the bones were pulled out and buried back where they'd been killed. But unlike Robert Mugabe, who ordered their killings, they did not get a proper funeral. They do not rest in peace.
A few months ago, activists put up a memorial to the victims at Balagwe, but state security officers destroyed it. No wonder the people of Matabeleland have no interest in the funeral of Mugabe, who never apologized or allowed justice to be done.
Even if it doesn't rest in peace, I don't care, unfortunately, because I would have cared. It would have been something else if he had shown a remorse by saying, people, we made a mistake. What is it that can be done so that we address the past injustices that happened in Matabeleland?
Who would forgive and forget? Not Keti Maposa. Her mother's 98. She's outlived Mugabe. But both are haunted by the memory of the night the soldiers came for the father of the house.
Bangeni indlela laye imota kuthiwa babeyimise ngale kwentaba kwaba yikuhamba kwakho babazamthosi.
People here believe
That's
the
in like
restless
reels, man, when
spirit
he's
of an
into the
unburied
pond.
relative can make you ill.
Ngoba kubuhlungu khathesi kunje ngiyahlupheka
The one in the
ngiyagula.
pond today.
Angilabani engizabika kuye. Ngabe kumbeni ithuna likababa ngiyalazi ukuthi lilaphana ngakungcono ngoba ngangiyahamba ngiguqa kuye ngimbikele udubo lwami. Manje akula.
Even now, Matabeleland is one of the poorest provinces in Zimbabwe, neglected, deliberately impoverished, while Mugabe's men enriched themselves. It wouldn't help much if the ambulances had wheels, as fuel is so scarce. Gibson's nephew, Sox Nube, is an ambulance driver.
Here in Matabeleland, are the spirits at rest?
No, not much. Not much. Most of them, I doubt if they are at rest. If you kill someone, it's so bad. The spirit will never rest.
Do you think that former President Mugabe's spirit will rest?
I just believe that guy is in trouble. If we go to heaven, you meet others whom you did something bad, we presume they can ask you, why were you killing us? What is it?
It's the dry season. When the rains come, they'll wash away the dust. The next generation is growing up in a land stalked by memory. This weekend sees the funeral of Robert Mugabe, but the spirits of those he had killed in Matabeleland cannot be quiet unless their bones are also given proper burial. That's a continuing tragedy in Matabeleland. But here in Harare, where I am now, the whole issue of the funeral and burial of Robert Mugabe is turning into something of a farce, with the family of President Mugabe pitted against the government. Now, today, mourners, ordinary Zimbabweans, those who do see him as father of the nation because he was the leader which won the liberation war against White Rhodesia, they filed past the coffin. They and many others, like visiting heads of state, would expect him to be buried this weekend in Heroes Acre. Heroes Acre is where all the liberation war heroes are buried, all of his comrades. But the family, led by his widow, Grace Mugabe, is totally against that. Gucci Grace, as they call her. Grace, the first shopper, as they called her when she was the first lady. She says no, he has to be buried in Zvimbo, his family home, next to his mother. Now, why is she so insistent on that? Well, maybe it's because his first wife, Sally Heffron Mugabe, is buried in Heroes Acre, and she doesn't want him buried next to Sally. Sally is still seen as an icon by many people here in Zimbabwe. Grace, she's not really a hero to anyone. She wanted to succeed President Mugabe as president of this country, but she was ousted by the current president, Emerson Mnangagwa. He survived, he says, after she tried to kill him with a poisoned ice cream from her dairy. Now, he has prevailed, but she came from Singapore with the body of the late president. Well, the latest is that there's going to be some kind of state event, some kind of funeral tomorrow. There may be a burial, but she still wants him buried in Zvimba, not in Heroes Acre. There's talk of a mock burial in Heroes Acre on Sunday. That sounds very strange. You can't bury a coffin without a body in it. And so the latest is that the whole thing is delayed and it may not happen for 30 days. This is a special species of confusion made here in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, so obviously Black Lives Matter in the West, but do they matter in other countries? It doesn't seem so.
Unbelievable that with Sarah Garvey. And what's the other one? Idi Amin. I mean, he was even worse, wasn't he? Come on, he's known as an
The
evil
last king of
person.
Scotland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
going on what that idiot said tonight, Garvey. I mean, what is it he hasn't seen about Mugabe then? What is it he doesn't know? It doesn't take a lot to find a video about the crimes of Robert Mugabe.
Well, Idi Amin was taught at Sandringham.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And he wants statues of these guys. So that's the mindset we're dealing with then. These are the people that, that respect. He thinks Robert Mugabe is a saint.
And shouldn't it be three famous black men or black people from Britain? I know we've got Gandhi.
Gandhi.
Gandhi went banda.
Mandela. It talked about statues.
Yeah.
Mandela,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's there as well, isn't it? See, that's how long I've been fucking down there. But it's if you look into it properly, it's all right. Again, this is going back to Tommy saying that everybody's been looking into it. Why hadn't he looked into it a long time ago? Because that's what we did. See, it seems that everybody's come across this information at the same time, where there's a lot of people that ain't even interested in any of that knew what BLM was all about and where it's come from, how it's evolved.
He was saying, that this Black Lives Matter was a feminist movement or something. I'm sure I heard that the other day.
Yeah, LBG, you know, that movement, LBGQ and all the rest of it.
This all goes back to the mid-70s with the feminism movement, and I'm not anti-female, but that was a Marxist movement. If you notice, in this country, most chief inspectors at police stations are now female.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have noticed. Like Kriss is a dick. I mean, I really would get my name changed by Depot.
Hang on. Imagine it is called. How do we address you? Inspector Dick?
Yeah, Mrs. Dick. Is Mrs. Dick here? Yeah. Oh, no, I'd have to change it. I really won't.
Cressida Dick has had a sponsor throughout her career, and the sponsor is Deutsche Bank.
You know,
there's going to be a lot coming out about Deutsche Bank and what they've been up to.
About what? Who?
Deutsche Bank and what they've been up to.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's a lot of people in prominent positions that have had influence from Deutsche Bank for a very long time.
I'll double Dutch today,
mate. You can take all this back to the clergy plan as well, I think.
I don't know about that one.
I think so. When you look at the EU, I mean, the EU was formulated around the clergy plan.
But the people that are all running everything now were children or teenagers through the 60s. And they had a very leftist influence in the 60s. These are the people who are now in charge.
Did you just say, Angie, did you just say Kalerga?
Yeah.
Yeah, the clergy plan, yeah.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah, about the wiping out the Eastern, wiping out the white race sort of thing.
And it's the old adage, if you want things to change, you've got to do it from the inside. And that's what they've done.
They have done, yes, with Marxism, yeah.
Yeah, the Kalergi plan. Yeah, I remember reading about that a few years, a while ago.
And it can't be solved in 5 or 10 years. It takes like 30 years to get your people in position.
Yeah. And they've done it in universities and everywhere.
That's where it all gets bred.
Yeah, it starts there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I don't think there's as much racism in this country as what some parts of the racial divide are saying, right? And it's being whipped up by BLM. End of.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Something's being whipped up that doesn't need to be whipped up because people can nowadays sit down and talk and discuss things.
Do you know what, Oof? I think we were saying the other day, like, You know, when you get all these things, you know, even BLM, Black Lives Matter, it'll all peter out because it's like I mentioned before, it's like the People's Front, the Judea, the Judy fucking front.
Yeah,
It'll all peter out because
I've heard somebody mention that BLM is an offshoot
and there'll be something else in a few years.
of Antifa.
Yeah,
This BLM has come
all
from
fucking-
Occupy. It's come from Occupy.
It will. Honestly, it will fucking all this BLM. It will all fucking die out because it's just bollocks.
But it'll be replaced by
But
something else.
the big thing about it is, though, that the mainstream media and the establishment are at the back of, they're supporting it.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
That's the frightening thing. Whereas the ones that petered out in the past, because the agenda that is there to actually cause discourse, cause
That's
people
what
to
I'm saying.
be
It fades out,
fighting
but
with
the
each
name
other.
gets changed. It's all it is a name change. That's all it is.
Yeah. So what? Look, if we live another 10 years, just say, imagine what else is going to happen. There'll be another fucking pile of shit group from fucking Monty fucking Python. That'll turn up.
It's like what David Icke says, though, isn't it? It's like a totalitarian tiptoe, but the tiptoe's like, it's actually turned into a sprint at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I think, because of Brexit and because of Trump as well, these two things are going against this. I'm not sure about Trump, but, the way he's going, it's going against, the UN Agenda 2030. It's going against
Agenda
it.
21. Agenda 21 was all supposed to be completed by the year 2021.
Can
Are you telling me that they're going to get rid of 6.5 billion people within a year? It's not possible.
Can I ask you all a serious question, right? Do you actually believe that the governments and then they actually run things?
No, I think that's it's the Jesuits. All roads lead to Rome.
I don't know who they are. I don't know the names and all that. But I always think that the people that are put in power in government are there just to appease us, give us the right to protest, peacefully protest and all that. But there's more to it than that. They're the fucking. I think there's people fucking pulling the strings elsewhere that are very, very powerful people that we don't really know about their lives. And basically what they use, they put governments in place to try and fucking keep us all under control.
Definitely, and it comes from the Vatican.
I don't vote. I don't vote. I never voted.
Go on, Angel Moon.
I never voted since 2008 because the last time I voted, because when 2008, when that fucking crash came in, I thought, hang on a minute, I didn't vote for a coalition. I voted.
Oh, yeah, the coalition, yeah.
All of a sudden, the fucking coalition came along. What the fuck's all that? I didn't vote for that. I voted Labour. And that's the last time I voted. I thought, what's this coalition like? When the Tories are coming in and everything like that, everything's going mental. I didn't vote for that.
Yeah, it was the Lib Dems, wasn't it, and the Tories.
After that was the last time when there was the last time I thought, fuck that, because my vote obviously means nothing.
But the government are told what to do by the ministries.
Pardon?
No matter what government it is, the ministries are the ones that instruct the government how it's going to be going.
Yeah.
And Angel Moon, it's all right saying about the Jesuits. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about any of it.
There's nothing. There isn't really, because we think that we're coming. Like the new world order is upon us, but we're actually in a world order anyway, and we always have been.
Yeah, it's called the system. The new world order. You've got the system, which is basically like cascades down from the government, and that's what we are. We are the system.
It comes from further, higher up than our governments anywhere in the world.
I'll tell you what,
it does come from Rome.
There'll be nothing. There'll be no. And don't be like pessimistic or anything like that. But there was nothing that you can change because they control everything. All you've got to do basically just go through life, enjoy it.
You've got an organisation called the Committee of 300. That's the ones that decide what's happening in the banks and everything like that.
Well, yeah. They have meetings and stuff like that. So the meetings that these big people have, who don't really know, and they're just telling the fucking likes of let's have some politics. Let's put a Labour Party there. Let's put a Tory party there. Let's put that party there.
Because basically, if you're not an MP or a councillor, you're a slave.
Well, they're
You're a
slaves
slave
as
to
well.
the system.
They're slaves as well.
I would say even they are. To be
They are.
honest with you.
They're slaves as well. Of course they are. But they have more money. That they get more money for being. They're a
They
better.
get privileges for privileges for actually going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're a better grade of slave. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean? And that's when you can bring in the class system. You know.
Right, and this is where I understand everybody's frustrations and anger at like that Chris Donald, other stuff that's been going on, and these people, not only the government, not only the ministries, the police, everybody doesn't want to fucking have it in the
No.
press.
No.
I mean, we could do something about it if if it was a total collective. You know what I mean? Because we are the many, like they say, they are the few. But
Listen,
it's never going to happen. It's
no,
not
it
going to
won't.
happen because of.
I mean, Guy Fawkes, he tried it.
The biggest insult,
It's not going to happen because of religion.
You
the
won't.
biggest insult you can give to a truther is you're a sheeple as well.
I know, I hate that saying.
And if in a big collective, you're all sheep.
The thing is, you're not going to beat the system. Get it in your fucking thick heads.
Yeah,
You ain't going to beat this system. It'll always be.
Yeah.
See, what I'll
That's
say,
quite a defeatist thing, though, isn't it? I mean, what
No,
I'm
no,
saying
no.
is like
always
you
gonna
need the 100th monkey. You need the 100th monkey.
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? How long do we live? How's our lifespan? What is it? 60, 70 years, 80, 90 if you're lucky, right? Why would you fucking... It's been going on for donkeys. They're going to shit on you no matter what, and there's nothing you can do about it. They've got the army and the police in the pocket. Don't fucking worry about it. Just enjoy your fucking bit while you're there.
get born, have your family,
I suppose
and die.
because when you have children, you think ahead, don't you? You don't just think about yourself.
How do you think your parents were thinking when, probably fucking... How old...
I don't think they were aware of it, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I think they were ingrained in it.
Yeah,
My parents were.
There's being aware and there's being too aware where you can make it take over your life. Where they're gonna they're gonna slide things under the table all the time. They're gonna do it.
That's how it
But
goes.
we've got a great tool in our hands, which they're trying to take away from us now, obviously, for obvious reasons. But the internet's been a great tool to enable collective consciousness. We can talk to anybody all over the world, and I know it's a hard battle, but I think it's a worthwhile battle.
Right,
That
but
to make people aware.
I think you're fighting a losing battle with that because there's how many people over the years, right? Look what's got. Listen, look at the way the fucking the way that they have. In the 70s, I went to London as a kid and I got pictures outside where you could stand outside Buckingham Palace. You could go stand outside Number 10 and all that.
Mm.
Right? As a kid, right? You can get on the horses and all that, and fucking. And these days, look at it now. They stood outside with fucking machine guns. So what does that tell him? They are controlling this, and there's nothing you can do because
it's all by design.
They're always going to have bigger guns than you. They're always going to be bigger than you. So just enjoy.
It's all by design to frighten the general public, i.e. 9/11, all these fucking terrorist things. It's all to frighten the public to have security.
Yep.
It's all about security.
Yeah, because it used to be the church that could do that with people's minds, and now people are coming away from it.
Why isn't everybody thinking, right, think of myself first, my family, my children, my extended family, my friends. The community has been broken down. The family has been broken down. And now people are being broken down into races.
And you know what? I think the kickoff for that was in 2007 when they had the smoking ban and everyone deserted the pubs. Because if you go to a pub, it's a community thing, innit?
Yeah.
But again, the pubs I went in with the old timers, you never discussed politics or race.
No, but at least you know where you are. You know.
Yeah.
It brought the communities together, though. I mean, they'd have day trips and stuff, wouldn't they? In the clubs and pubs.
Anything, they took that out of us. So fucking where I live, there used to be fucking hundreds of them. From going back a few years, it's couple now. That's it. Other than that, you just go into the Manchester city centre.
And COVID is going to shut down a hell of a lot more as well.
There's lots of things because, in that respect, you know, it used to be. It's open again now, but you know, like the elderly people, because maybe they're that poor and they can't keep eating. They go in the pub, maybe have a couple of pints all fucking afternoon, but at least they're in a warm place where there's people that they can chat to and socialise with, and you know, just keep the brain ticking over and
talking face to face and socialising in real life.
Yeah.
Not only do you get the language, you get the body language, you get the facial expressions, and it's a total connection.
Mm-hmm.
This is just on the internet, and that's all it is talk.
Yeah.
If Easy was still in it, he backed me up the other week. There was I went on a paedophile protest at the BBC. Must have been 5 years ago. And everybody on fucking line was saying, yeah, there's going to be thousands, there's going to be thousands. There was 50 of us that turned up. Trying to get things done in this country with the community or the public is fucking hard work.
Too many distractions on the internet, mate. That's what it is. 'Cause people walking around with a fucking computer in their hand, i.e. mobile phones. Too many. That's a massive distraction for them. They don't fucking grasshopper minds, you see.
Because I do agree with you, Angel Moon. The internet is a bonus that people can communicate with each other. But that's as far as it goes. That is as far as it goes.
Mm-hmm. You're listening, Brian.
You can wish. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that you know, is it Hoofster? I don't know how you say it, Hoofster. You know, I just think it's all these things that are happening in quick concession at the moment. You know how the world's changing, how everything's gone mad, and it literally has got worse in the last 5 years. Like really bad. You know, with all the LGBT stuff, the feminist stuff, the race stuff, everything. It's gone crazy. And I think this is waking a lot of people up. Do you know what I mean? I think people are like taking a step back and thinking, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Hang on a minute. What are they waking up to? What have you got to wake up for?
Well, they're waking up to understanding that it's controlled. It's like, this is like a control thing that's happening. A lot of people are waking up. I mean, you might not think they are, but I actually can feel it around me. Do you know that? People are waking up. They're starting to understand.
I probably took that the wrong way because, like that buzzword, sheeple and wake up. So,
woke. The woke people are the most not awoke.
No, I'm not talking about the woke. I'm on about people being enlightened. This is the age now. We're coming into Aquarius. This is the age of lifting the veil. Like people.
Angel Moon, that's fair enough what you're saying, right? They're being enlightened by the internet, not real life social interaction.
No, I think you're wrong. I think it's like, especially with this COVID stuff as well. I mean, the people that I interact with on the internet, just in sort of, like Parler, Facebook, all them sort of places. I can see that they're actually, they don't want this vaccine. A lot of people would have just gone along, oh yeah, I want the vaccine. They don't want to. They know that this face covering is probably a step towards, putting a burqa on us. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that's how I see it, and that's how they see it. Yeah.
Right, but it's like trying to. It's like trying to.
You can laugh all you like. You can laugh, laugh all you like, but you're not the only person with your own thoughts, are you? It's not just your thoughts that are dominating everything. Do you know what I mean? Just because you don't take. Well, can I finish though? Can I finish here? Can I finish? Can I finish? Could I finish, please? Just because you don't carry a phone around, you say that, and you're not interested, and you want to just live your own life, as if you've just got the one life and you want to live it. I'm all right, Jack. Not everybody thinks like that. So I don't know what you're going on about.
Angel, I'm of your thinking. Right? I'm of your thinking.
Way far from that.
I'm of your thinking, right? But I've noticed for about 20 years that it's been like this. I was
And
involved.
20 years.
Yeah.
It
went
has.
to
I
the
mean,
poll,
I've been at this 20 years. I understand what it's been going longer than 20 years,
the poll
thousands of
tax
years,
riots.
probably.
The poll tax
Hundreds
riots.
of years, yeah.
Right? People don't believe in rioting. That was the only way things used to get changed. And yeah, it did stop the council tax. It stopped poll tax. They just renamed it into council tax.
Yeah.
One
Yeah, I
and
know
a
that.
quarter million people protested about the war in Iraq. The government didn't fucking listen to the people.
No.
They're not gonna do.
That's how woke I am.
They don't give a fuck. They let us. They laugh at us when we have our peaceful protest. They're actually laughing at us.
I agree with you. I don't think protests work. I really don't.
Oh look, we allow them just to fucking let loose.
I went on them anonymous things. I went down to Occupy. I've gone to a load of things. Not because I agree with what they're saying, because I wanted to see the feel and agenda of what the fight in the people's like. And there's no fight. I know those like lefty sides, but there's no fight. It's all fucking bravado.
They know they're going to get hurt.
I tried getting a big group of like Black Bloc to turn up, right? Because I'd seen what was going on for a couple of years, so I put a shout out for Black Bloc, and nobody fucking showed.
Well,
see,
that's what I think, because I mean, you won't look at everything's boxed off, right?
Yeah.
It's boxed off like fuck. If the police can't handle it, we'll bring the fucking the other type of police, which is the TAU or them fuckers, right? And if they can't handle it, which always normally we can do, you bring the army.
72, when we joined the EC, right, I was 6, right? But we was being taught stuff in the schools about how dangerous the European community was going to be, right? That was all about control. And it's just control after control after control.
I mean, that's why it's sort of, when I've been talking with people years ago, I mean, the best solution would be to do nothing. Actually, just, get your supplies together and sit at home for a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't buy anything from the shops. Don't.
Angel Moon, I've been saying this for years. Get all your provisions in for a week or two. Don't even cancel your direct debits for that fucking week as well.
Yeah.
The banks would fucking seize. Everything would seize.
You see, the thing is now, have you noticed as well, like, I remember someone ages ago saying we're going to a cashless society and all like that. You see this coronavirus, like pay by card if possible. It's all digital numbers. How do you know it's there? I'd rather have it in my hands, mate. I don't know about
Well, there's some places won't take cash, will they?
I know, that's what I mean. So, like,
No, don't use them shops then.
I know, but just saying, if you, oh yeah, fucking, but dead right, shouldn't. But the way that these are going, it's a bit fucking weird, isn't it?
We've always been like sort of.
Unless you haven't got it in your hands, or I've always said myself, just numbers. If you log into your account, your bank guy, just numbers on the screen.
If you're feeling rough, stay at home.
If you're feeling rough, you better go see the vet.
No, stay at home. Don't take your germs out with you. One, you'll get fucking better quicker. Then nobody needs to wear a mask out in fucking public or anything.
I can't believe it. Everyone's falling for this mask shit, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous. Right.
Is it tomorrow that it's actually compulsory to wear it?
Go on. What's
going
on? All through this lockdown, Angel Moon, I've just carried on living as normal.
Yeah.
Well, I have. I can honestly say I have, because where I live, it doesn't affect me.
Angel Moon, what have they told you on the news? Because I don't watch the news.
I don't know. I haven't got a television. I haven't had one for about 11 years.
So what are these fucking government fucking pumping out now? Do we have to walk around wearing masks? Do we?
I know that
in shops and that. Yeah, I think it's the 28th or 24th. I don't know.
What?
I think it's the 24th. I think.
All right. What is this compulsory?
Yeah, you have to wear them in shops, and so you don't have to wear them in restaurants.
It's Friday. Yeah.
All right.
Really? So every shop that you go into, you have to.
Yeah, you have to wear a mask. Yeah.
No way. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, why didn't they bring, if it was so necessary and they truly believed it was going to make a difference, excuse me, why didn't they bring that in the beginning?
I'm not doing
Why now?
Fuck that. I'm not doing it. Fuck
Seven,
that.
we've got a mutual friend. We've got a mutual friend who lives up your way, works at Asda, correct?
Right.
She's been having to fucking work extra hours every week. She has never had to wear a mask. Nobody in fucking Asda in Manchester has caught fucking COVID through people going in that shop with no fucking masks on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the people that work in like the superstores, yeah, they don't have to wear masks.
That's true, yeah. Just the people going in.
It doesn't add up, does it? It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, Wendy. It doesn't. So, sorry, I'm not fucking doing it.
And if you go to a restaurant, apparently, you know, you don't have to wear a mask. No.
Where can you eat if you're wearing a mask?
Having a fucking laugh.
But that's
It's
the excuse
£100
that
fine.
yeah.
It is, yeah. It's
Yeah.
£100 fine if you don't wear it in the supermarket.
Oh, that's brilliant. That. Oh, right, brilliant. I'm gonna fucking walk to the shop on purpose without one to see what they do.
A friend of mine that I know, he actually put it on one of his posts that he went in his local off license just yesterday. This is in Ireland, and he actually they refused to serve him because he didn't have a mask on. Made him get out. They've been dragging people off the Lewis.
Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get one of Debbie's bras. I'm gonna cut it in half, save the elastic. I'm gonna get one cup, just wrap it around my head, stitch the elastic on the other side, wrap it around my head. Be right then. I'm not buying one.
Well, it's the way it's gonna be.
How much are these things anyway?
The shops around my way that you're not allowed to fucking wear a hoodie or a fucking baseball cap because they need to see your face.
What
so now you've got to go in with a mask on.
Yeah.
You're
Hang on a
getting
minute. The people who, you know, Muslims, the ones who you can only see the slit in it.
Yeah.
Right. How do you know if they're wearing one or not?
Well, they won't need to. They're already covered up, aren't they?
So they're all
Bloody
right.
idiot.
So they're all right, then, aren't they? All right, fuck it, I'm converting.
Do you remember the Geordie lad that went into the bank with the ski mask on?
Yes, I do, Angel Moon. Yeah.
That'll save me $2.99. Okay, I'm going Muslim.
Goofy 99 has been watching Chrissy Morris.
Oh no, there's no way I'm walking around with a fucking mask on. Fuck off.
You've got to, Seven, or you'll get fined.
You get the lurgy.
Fuck him. No, they can fucking sniff me underpants. I don't give a fuck.
Seven, what you going to do when they come and say that you've got to have the vaccination?
Seven, what are you going to do when they come for you?
Wait, no, you're not. No, you said like, give me the needle now. Fuck off, you cunts. Because I'll really fucking go off.
That's what I worry about most. Oh, God.
About fucking... Have we all got to have vaccinations now as well?
Yeah.
Well, it won't surprise me if when the vaccination is ready, it becomes compulsory. Yeah.
No one's sticking anything in me that I don't fucking...
Well, if it's
you won't
compulsory...
be able to travel. You won't be able to shop. You won't be able to do anything without it.
It's a human right. It's a human right.
Fuck off. The only thing that enters my body is the air that I breathe and the food that I put in my mouth.
They can make it compulsory.
Oh, no.
It's against your human rights.
Well,
yes, they can make it compulsory.
I'll blow the fucking heads off.
Bill Gates wants the whole world to be vaccinated.
Oh, well, he would, wouldn't he? Yeah.
He wants everybody on Microsoft as well. It ain't going to happen.
No.
And he wants us to have either a bracelet, a chip, or something like that, so that we can, or a card to identify that you've actually been vaccinated.
Angel Moon. So when are we going to get the yellow star put on our fucking sleeve?
Well,
yeah,
the chip,
I'm not having no card or a chip. No.
What is it? What is it? An oven one, McCain? Can you microwave it?
I'd have to go into my bunker if that happened. I can't be dealing with that sort of thing.
The resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I tell you what, fucking hell, you know what? You like Italy, you that when you couldn't play golf, could you? You couldn't get out of the bunker.
Yeah, no.
You
You'd
won't be
have
able
to
to
have
fly.
underground
You won't,
resistance against it.
you get no medical care. You won't be able to walk into a hospital or a doctor's without it. You won't be able to go on public transport. The lot. Yeah, that's the future. That's what they want. That's the new normal that's coming.
Johnny Five will be your fucking doctors. You have to tell Johnny Five what the problem is, and Johnny Five will tell you.
Well, I rang up my surgery, right?
Yeah.
I said, I want a telephone call with a doctor, right?
Right.
Oh, we don't do that anymore. I said, what? I said, well, I don't want to come into the bloody doctors. It wasn't that, that serious. I said, so what have I got to do? Well, you got to log on. Then you've got to go, you've got to enter the website. Then you've got to fill a few forms in. And then the doctor will get back to you within 24 hours. I went, So I said, so what? This is a new, better system, is it? Yes. I went, no, it's not. I said, how? I mean, I can do that, right? I can log on and do all of that, right? What about those that can't?
Yeah, because that's what it's like these days. It's fucking mad, isn't it? People who can't, yeah, exactly.
You know, what about, I mean, you get people even who are 30, believe it or not, that don't know how to do it because they've never shown interest in that sort of thing. So, or, can you imagine one of them being told, well, no, actually, you've got to log on. I go, what?
Yeah, time bar. Wait, what? Hey.
So when you log on, when I logged on, it says, in the form, it says, what's your problem? So I put the problem. And then it has like a list of 100 symptoms. And I'm thinking, no, I know what it is. I don't need to be, looking at all these things.
No, it's like the fucking try to diagnose yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, and then something else. It was about 5 different bloody forms that I had to fill in. And then at the end it says, is there anything else you want to add? I thought, fuck off, no.
I've been putting for an hour pressing these buttons.
And do you know what, Wendy? Do you know the scary part of that? Is all that will go, so like, just say the national health. I mean, we look at that, they've got the national health in Britain. But, that would go against your insurance claims and stuff like that. If you try to get private insurance, they'd see all that. Oh, she's got this, she's got that, she's got the other. So your premiums would be higher. You can see it coming. Yeah.
I said this the other night, right? Or not all of it, the second part. This country and all first world countries are built on systems. And what's happened with this COVID has proved that this country has got systems in place that can't deal with a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Medical, food, all of it is not fit for purpose.
So then she says to me, oh, that was it. So I forgot about it. I sent it off, right? You have to send it. So I sent. Get on with the rest of my day. Phone rings. Picks up. I went, and it's not a doctor. It's I don't know, a clinician of some sort, a nurse or I don't know, some bloody crazy woman. And what I'll do, she says, I says, what? She goes, I'll send you a text, right? And it'll have a number on it. And you've got to send me a text saying yes. Then I'll send you, this is right. Then I'll send you another text. And that'll have your national health number. You know what we've all got, our national health number. I went, yeah, okay. I said, what's this about then? And she goes, well, then what you do is you take it to any pharmacy and they'll download your prescription. I said, what happened to just like getting a prescription? What happened to just getting the prescription?
Yeah, bloody hell. And so you never get to see a doctor to actually examine. Yeah, you know what I mean. See.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Well, she said, so what do you want to happen? I thought, what do I want to happen?
You're the fucking doctor.
I said, have you had this before? I went, yeah, 1,000,001 times. She goes, so what do they normally treat it with? I said, antibiotics. She went, oh, I'll give you penicillin. I said, no. And she went, why? I said, because it should fucking say I'm allergic to penicillin. See, you've got to be so careful now.
Yeah, good, yeah.
God, yeah, fucking, brilliant that, and it's one of that, like a Tommy Cooper joke, isn't it? I went to the doctor. Yeah. I went to the doctor's doctor. Can you tell what's wrong with me? No, you should do. Cure yourself.
So what do you want? What do you think it is? I don't fucking know. You're the doctor.
Tell me what's wrong with me. Well,
honestly,
you tell me first.
And my son rang me and he goes, what's up? I said, I'm angry. I said, I'm bloody angry. And he goes, what's the matter? As well, it seems you've got to either be dead or dying before you actually get to see a doctor.
Yeah, the doctor will see you now in the mortuary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is no way, if you go in with an everyday ailment, yeah, every day. There's no way you're going to get to see a doctor. No. Fill in the forms, and then they say, so what do you want to happen? And what if you don't have a mobile phone for them to send a text message to, where you can take it to any pharmacy?
It's fucking up, isn't it?
So then my other son comes in. He says, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, and I threw my mobile phone at him. I said, "Sort that out." He goes, "What is it?" I said, "You've got to go to any pharmacy. Pick them up for me, will you?" He says, "Because fucking Mike," he says, "the fucking immigrants are making this country worse."
Oh no.
Can you imagine? And all it would take is a massive solar flare to knock it all off, and it'd be nothing left.
Oh God! I just, what's the immigrants got to do with this then? He says, well, it's their fault. Why? There's no room for anyone anymore. So she caused one hell of a battle in this house. Silly cow.
God.
Yes, the angel, a solar flare. There's always looking on the bright side, isn't there?
Exactly. We'll go back to bartering. We'd probably be better off. Go back to bartering and go down to the local sort of healer down the village.
Back to the shaman.
It's like these women that are having babies now, right? These women that are having babies now, they piss me off as well because. So I'm having a boy, I'm having a girl, right? You go, well, okay. Have you thought of any names yet? Oh yes, but we're not telling you, it's a secret. I look at them like they've got 5 heads, and I think, well, why is it a damn secret? You know what?
Yeah, don't tell the baby.
Why is it a secret? We don't want people to
the baby might hear you. Don't tell him.
It's a secret. We're not telling you it's a secret. Oh, Christ.
Oh, God.
I was pleased when it was a surprise what you got, rather than knowing what you got.
And then of course now, you know, when they go and get the scan and they find out that they're having a boy or a girl.
Not much. I'm slavering. Sorry.
Right? They can't just come in the house and say, "Oh, I'm having a boy or I'm having a girl." No.
It's all
They've got to
naming
get
party,
fucking balloons out and fucking balls and everything else, and then there's got to be a whole. Everyone sit and look to see if it's pink or blue. I can't be dealing with it. I just can't.
I know somebody, and what they've done is the hospital, they put a coloured balloon in a dark balloon, and you take it home for a party, and it's a gender naming party.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
pop the balloon to reveal the fucking sex.
My niece, they had these firework things that let off like the blue or pink, confetti type stuff. Yeah.
You're having a
Yeah,
baby, for fuck's sake. Be happy if it's a boy or a girl, innit?
Well, I've got 2 sons, and both their partners are pregnant. So you can imagine the hell I'm being put through, because one will bitch about the other. The women I mean, not the sons. The one bitches about the other, and the other bitches about the other.
Hey, Wendy, check this out. Fucking one of my nieces. She's just she was 19 at the time. She had to give she had twins, right? Boy and a girl, and they were a year old last week. Mental as anything. Absolute fucking. It's weird, isn't it?
Mm.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like but I know where it comes from because my mum was a twin and stuff like that. But it's fucking. It's like you talk about the blue thing and the pink thing, but
It's craziness.
When they were born, they were literally only a few inches fucking big. It was, you know what I mean, one of them.
Oh yeah,
On
yeah.
oxygen and everything, like 3 months early, and stuff. Fucking thriving now, thank God. Sorry, I stopped you.
No, it's fine, love. It's fine. It's just the way they are now. Everything's got to be. Oh, and then I've got someone, not my family, but like a friend of my daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
And when he marries his partner, right? Get this, he's called Atkins, right? But he's going to take her name as well.
Right.
So he will become Mr. Smith Atkins because her name's Smith.
Right.
And she will become Mrs. Smith Atkins. It's all nuts. I don't get it. I don't get
What
it
about
at all.
these mothers that won't even?
The thing is, right, when you're signing yourself into an hotel or a reservation anyway, it sounds posher. Who are you? Well, I'm Smith. I'm Smith Atkins. I'm Smith Atkins. Yes, penthouse suite. Thank you very much.
Ain't you ever booked a table at a restaurant in a fucking famous name?
Nah.
Do it. It's funny.
Well, have you done it?
Yeah.
Have you? Fuck no. No way.
I didn't book it. My mate booked it in fucking celebrity names.
Yeah, come on.
They laughed when we turned up.
How did you do it on the phone? What did you do?
Somebody phoned up, said they was the secretary of, I can't even remember the names they used, right? It wasn't until we got there, he said, watch this. So I went, well, what you done? He told us, and when we went in, there was fucking loads of people waiting for us. And they just laughed at us.
No, I could never do that.
Chances, that's what these chances are like. These cockneys, Wendy. Terrible they are. Honestly, they're not like proper like us Northerners. You know what I mean? They're like fucking take their eyes out of their fucking head if you're not looking.
I mean, I remember when you used to be able to take your baby to the shops and put the pram outside and just leave it there. Christ, can you imagine doing it now? You'd be accused of abandonment, wouldn't you?
Check the story out. My mum told me this. When she was little, she was, like you have what they call them entries. The backs of, where terraced housing is and stuff like that.
Mm.
And you have a ginnels or entries, where the back and it's cobbled and all like that. Anyway, she told me the story when she was little. She was only about 6 or 7 years old, something like that. And some bloke fucking he had a suitcase in his hand and he tried to get her inside the suitcase. Shit, you know? Yeah, just fucking think, oh, come here. Yeah, all right. Hey, look at this. You try to fucking get her.
Oh God.
Got her in it. Someone fucking struggled out of it, and they went chasing this bloke.
Oh dear.
Mad as fuck.
Yeah.
So it was an open and shut case.
It was open and shut case. Yeah, very funny, Seven.
Yeah, she survived and had me.
So you go to a maternity unit now, it's like getting into a fucking prison.
Mm. Oh, here's another funny story, right?
Well.
So, my daughter-in-law, right? She goes for her first, what do you call it, angel moon? You know, where you go to get your blood pressure took when you're pregnant and all that with the midwife. And she was really, really nervous, right? And my son was with her, but he wasn't allowed in because of the COVID. So he had to sit outside, right? And when she's in there, you know, the midwife takes her blood pressure and it shoots through the roof. Oh, you need to go to hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they ring the ambulance. The ambulance turns up and she's outside. And my daughter-in-law's gone outside to tell my son. And my son says, well, you go in the ambulance, obviously, and I'll set off now to the hospital and I'll get there. We should get there at the same time. So she gets in the ambulance and I couldn't believe this. The paramedics took her blood pressure and it was normal, right? And I said, so why did you go to the hospital? She says, well, I thought, he set off for the hospital in the car. I thought, I better go or he won't like it. I literally was speechless. Who does that? Who does that?
You can't beat real life, can you?
And then I says, have you told him? I says to her, have you told him? Does he know? No. So I waited for her to sod off to work. And I said to my son, you do know that was a wasted journey up there. He goes, what do you mean? So I told him and he went, see, I've got her well trained. She was too scared to tell me because he'd have been at the hospital.
Oh, well.
No, he just laughed and said she was silly. He just laughed and said, yeah.
They're both in control that way, aren't they?
Yeah, he just laughed and said she was silly and she should have, rang him or something. But he couldn't believe it. I said, what? He took it and it was normal, yeah. And then we waited a few more minutes. He took it again and it was, it was even better.
Yeah.
And she said to the paramedic, well, you better take me because my husband's gone up there.
And did they?
Yeah, they took her. And she ended up being stuck in a room for an hour because when she got to the maternity thing where they took her, obviously they had to take it seriously. And she kept saying, but my blood pressure's normal. And they kept saying, yeah, but you're here now, so we've got to check you over. So she had to be stuck in there for an hour. I had my son on the phone moaning and complaining because he couldn't get in there to be with her. And then she comes out after an hour. Fine.
False alarm.
I looked at her and said, I would never have done that. Not a chance. No, I would not have done that. Oh, you'll have to take me because my husband set off in the car. Yeah.
Oh, Bob, brilliant. You know what? Oh, stop it now. I know it's all right. Carry on. Fuck it.
So that's a big part in a lot of men's lives now. Going to antenatal classes with the woman, and that's all that to stop. Going to the hospital to find out that you're pregnant and like what the sex is, the men ain't allowed to go in.
No, they can't go in. No. Not
So
at
them
all.
special moments, parents ain't having them now.
Yeah,
are they?
yeah.
Do you remember that?
What about funerals? Even funerals, that
Yeah.
that's
Oh
been
no,
ridiculous. You
I've
can
seen
riot
few,
in the streets, but you can't go to a funeral.
I've seen a few funerals where there's been quite a few there.
Good for them. Yeah.
Hey, Wenda, do you remember the scene on Only Fools and Horses where the baby scene? Where
Yeah.
Raquel,
Where you are?
Yeah, I nearly said that earlier.
where Del and Raquel
Telling Raquel what?
Have the baby. And Rodney
Yeah.
asks him, what is it? And Del Boy says, it's a baby.
Isn't even funny a bit because he sold this bloke. He was selling syrups, wigs, what it?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
flips off and he says, "Blimey, it's got a full head of hair." it was the fella's wig he slipped off right.
Oh God.
So,
No, it's fine. It's funny. Yeah.
So in real life situations, they're being taken away from people.
Yeah, they have.
You know, it was Ronnie. Was it Ronnie Hazel? No, yeah, Ronnie Sullivan. What was his name? Who fucking wrote that fucking series?
Ronnie O'Sullivan or someone like that.
Oh, it was John Sullivan. Sorry,
John Sullivan. Yeah.
He could play the other one. But he's wrote, to have the imagination to write.
I like the one where Trigger went round to their flat.
Yeah.
And Rodney sat there and Del's getting ready to go to the pub.
Yeah.
And Rodney says, "All right, Trigger." And he went, "Yeah." He goes, "So what brought you here?" And he says, "Well, Del said he'd give me a lift to the pub." And Rodney says, you gotta walk past the pub to get
But he said, we walked past him, but he said he'd give you a lift.
Oh, my
Talking
family
about
love
Ronnie's
that
genius.
That little video you put up today was funny.
Oh, about Ronnie Gray.
Yeah. Wanted his own country.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I want people to laugh and smile at me.
Yeah, that was classic. It did make me laugh, actually. Oh, dear.
See, that's what needs more on the internet, laughter.
Mm.
I love it.
Yeah, that Only Fools and Horses, hilarious.
I know, but the guy who wrote it, John Sullivan, what imagination he must have
Yeah,
had.
he did. Yeah.
But he probably must have seen things as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he must have been one of them who, as a child, probably in a pub in the fucking East End, West End, wherever they are, and noticing these characters.
Yeah.
And he's took that all in and he's wrote it down, I think. But that bit with Trigger as well when he's going.
Can you remember the one, Gary?
The one about the brush. He said, "This brush," because he got a badge from the council, didn't he?
Oh yeah, Trigger with his brush.
This brush. I've had this for 35 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This brush has had 17 new heads and 14 new handles.
Did you ever watch that series called Early Doors?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, on BBC. Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant.
No,
yeah.
I never saw that.
Oh, it's brilliant, Brenda. It's brilliant. Yeah. Do you know?
It's so good.
Anja, Amy who goes on about the traffic when he goes.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Him and his wife as well, you know.
Oh.
The stuff, it's so good, Wendy. It might be on YouTube, I think, as well.
right.
Yeah, they are. It's absolutely brilliantly wrote and brilliantly acted because it's really deadpan and quiet, but it's like
The opening scene on
sometimes you're fucking thinking, someone say something for fuck's sake, this is embarrassing.
the opening scene on series 1. It's so funny. He's like singing the song, "You won't take away my dignity," while he's cleaning the U-bend of the toilet. It's so funny.
Do you ever remember that scene when them coppers came in and they got stoned?
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're so funny. Yeah. Those coffers are brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why I missed that one then.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Wendy, honestly, you'll love it.
It's so British, isn't it? It's so like proper, like in the pub, like, you know, the characters in the pub.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Yeah. And that guy always used to say, "I'll stay on my own." And he'll say, "Do you want a pint?" "I'll stay on my own."
Oh, right, one of them. Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. And then they go on a day trip, don't they? That was funny. Like go off somewhere for the night, like a casino or somewhere, or the dogs or something. I can't remember, but it obviously turns into a disaster. It's so funny. Yeah. And it's emotional as well, isn't it, with his daughter and that. Yeah.
Oh, it's seriously fucking funny.
I'll have to have a look for that. Yeah.
A few years ago, wasn't it, Ange?
Yeah. Was somebody said it was from the 80s or something, was it?
Oh, no.
Right.
It was from the early 90s.
Oh, the early 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is very funny. Very funny.
Right.
Like Northern Pub. Craig Cash is in it. Him who's in the Royal Family. Who wrote Royal Family with what's her name? Carolina Hearn.
Ah, she's dead now, isn't she?
Yeah, you know why I knew her brother, right? Because his name's Patrick. He used to do, because my sister was working behind a bar in a place called the Sawyer's Arms on Deansgate in town, right? So him Pat and his missus used to do this karaoke thing, and he was they were really good. These two, they're really good, but he was a brilliant piano player.
Oh, right.
And you know what happened to it? Because anyway, he moved to Spain, started playing in, like doing nights and bit like the sort of fucking schmoozy sort of fucking
Yeah,
sort of thing, all that sort. Anyway, fucking hell, he not long after Caroline passed away, he came on piss one night and fucking just dropped dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably broken-hearted, you say?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember meeting him years ago. He was pretty top fellow. He was lively and stuff like that, but very, very talented. Very talented. His sister's more talented. But yeah, get on that Early Doors.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I can't believe I've missed it.
Oh, I don't. How many series would there be, Ange?
I think they did maybe 2 because unfortunately they should have done more because it was so funny. And maybe they just did 1. I don't know, but it was just hilarious.
I'm going to go, but I want to ask one question. It's up to anybody if they want to say anything. Has Raj said anything about skits being exposed by Amy?
No.
He just posted something about an hour ago. A tease skit is exposed. So God knows.
Right.
Has she exposed him then?
Posted his photos and a load of chats that she's had with him. It's all in crisis mode.
Who is it then? Who is it then?
Has Amy done the Black Widow spider move?
Apparently she's named him as Simon from the Netherlands.
Right.
But Raj is saying
Simon from the Netherlands.
Raj is saying that he had his photo ages ago.
That's strange.
He types all right, but he speaks double Dutch.
Anyway, good chatting to you. You know where we are,
guys. Yeah, thank you.
You know where we are if he fucking comes back, the idiot.
I will never let him on again.
All right,
No.
all right. Speak to you soon.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Right.
Mate. See you in a bit, mate.
Yeah, early doors. Yeah, I'll look for that tomorrow.
Oh, you'll love it, honestly, Wendy. You will love it. So, get your popcorn and whatever you're doing, what have you. You'll love it. It's dead. Honestly, Angie, it's really deadpan, isn't it?
It is, and it's quite emotional as well, because of his young daughter, isn't it? When I can't say
Yeah,
anything because it'll spoil it, but
I
it is
know.
quite emotional as well. Yeah,
Yeah, there is that bit where he's the landlord anyway. He's got his.
yeah.
They have that relationship between him and that and he's yeah. So there's like family issues in it, but it's
And the mother upstairs, she's funny, isn't she? Oh dear,
cracking.
so
Isn't
funny. Yeah.
it?
But no doubt the best sort of comedy series, which I think is the best ever, is Father Ted. I don't think you can beat Father Ted. Can
Oh,
you?
Father Ted. Yeah, that was very
Hey,
good.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Do you remember what happened to him? Right.
Yeah.
He what's his name? Not Father Ted.
Dermot or something. Yeah.
Oh no, Father Ted's name, proper name. Apparently,
Yeah, Father Ted's called Dermot. Something or other. Yeah.
No, that's he's fucking.
Is that Father
Dougal? That's Father
All
Dougal.
right. Oh, let me find out, then I'll go and Google it.
Right, Father. Anyway, what happened to him was this madness because in about I think they came out about 95, 96, and there was one of my mates who wouldn't come out because it used to be on a Friday night.
Yeah.
He wouldn't come out until he watched Father Ted until it finished out. Watching Father Ted, and then he'd come in the pub like fucking laughing his bollocks off to Father Ted. But what happened to him was, he actually fucking only a couple of years later, when it got famous, the series and stuff, he actually fucking he was at a Christmas do, and he fucking dropped dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is Dermot. It's Dermot Morgan.
Dermot Morgan, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Father
it
Ted.
is.
And,
Yeah.
Father Dougal's Arrol O'Hannon.
Yeah, well, he was at apparently he was at a Christmas fucking get together like you normally do, and gone out like a light, done.
Well.
And he never got to see his own success because it was really big because at the time when that was out, it was like, oh, fucking. I'm from an Irish background, in that respect. I remember talking with people who were like, "You never show that in Ireland. You never show that in Ireland. You're joking, aren't you?"
Oh, everyone liked it, didn't they? Yeah, it was quite funny.
It took a while, but like, but like the steadfast sort of Catholics would have a real fucking like, oh no, that's a dig. If you don't get the humour, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, every bit of it.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to lighten up, don't you? You know what I mean? Cup of tea. Yes. Tea. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Yeah. Right, guys, we'll call it a night.
Thanks for having us, Wendy.
That's okay, and thank you, Angela, Angel Moon. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, Wendy.
Nice chat, Angela. Nice chat, Wendy. Thanks for you very
And
much.
thanks, Squire. Thanks a lot, love.
You're welcome. Always on your side. All you need to do is give a ding a ding a ding.
Who are you gonna call? Squire 7.
Squire 7.
Ghostbusters.
Good night, everybody.
Right,
good night,
good
and
night,
people in the
guys.
chat as well. Good
Yeah.
night.
Welcome, love. Take care.
Bye. Yeah, so that was quite a good stream. I enjoyed that. A bit of fun, lighten the mood after the very rude interjection from Mr. Hurl. If you all are around and listening, you're not welcome on my channel ever again. I suggest you get off the internet altogether because you're really not liked or wanted. Yeah, but I enjoyed that. I really did. Good fun. You can't beat having a little bit of a laugh sometimes. Seriousness at first, but then having a little bit of a giggle about everyday things is good fun. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, or it passed a bit of time for you, because I know sometimes it's boring watching the TV, same rubbish all the time, or they like to put repeats, endless repeats on that you generally just get sick of seeing, don't you? So yeah, but never feel shy to come on this channel and even come on the panel, because everybody's welcome to come on the panel and just have your say. Because you know, that's just the sort of person I am. That's how that idiot got on tonight. Yeah, because I think everyone's going to act normal, and unfortunately you always get some clowns that like to mess about. But you know, with me, I've learnt once, so it won't happen again, and he will certainly never ever get onto my channel ever again. Well, what can I say about that man? A liar, a deceiver, a bully, someone that likes to bully women, especially someone that likes to use the threat of children. Yeah, so Hurl, if you're listening, I suggest you do one and get off the internet for good. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you around. You're evil. Everything about you is evil. And I'm going to play out with my favourite little, just to remind you what we're all about. Yeah.
I used to rule the world, seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone, sweep the streets I used to own. I used to rule, fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king's dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Mirror, mirror, my soul and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you've gone, it was never, never an honest word. That was when I ruled the world. It was the wicked and wild wind, blew down the doors to let me in. Shattered windows and the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be king? I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry requires the singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name ever alone on this earth, but that was when I ruled the world. Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name ever alone on this world, but that was when I ruled the world.